Quick follow-up. Buck's over there. Hi.
What's up, man?
Nice to see you. What's up, man? What's up, bro?
Well, I'm trying to figure out the
bro.
YouTube stream.
Yeah.
Because right now it's only showing your pretty face. Maybe that's what the people want, though.
Oh, I think that's what they want.
And then an empty chair.
Well,
I don't think they want that.
What would it show if it wasn't showing me? I mean...
No, it would still be showing you, but instead of you and an empty chair, it would be you and me.
Oh, yeah. You want to get on there. Get you some airtime, bro.
I mean, let's be honest. Some people want that, too.
Yeah, they do.
Not all the people.
Buck's the man. Come on. How many people are watching us on YouTube right now?
Right now?
Yeah.
I don't know. I have to check. It's not showing me on the interface here. I have to go elsewhere to see.
You know, it's a big deal when we got the YouTube stream. I'm going to guess 30. Is it over 100?
Well, I'm about to find out. I'll play the drum roll when I have it.
Okay. Well, nice to have you along. Big Sook's out at spring training again today. He'll be back Monday, so we will party without him. I did get a text from him today, so there is proof of life. He said that, and I think it's Shohei that's pitching tonight for the stupid Dodgers.
Yeah.
He said that tickets for that game were $200 U.S.
Seems like a lot.
He didn't like that.
Seems like a lot for an exhibition game.
Would you pay $200 for a spring training game?
No. Then again, I guess if you're the type of baseball fan who's maybe not going to go to L.A. for a game and you want to see Shohei and it doesn't really matter what, like, he's enough of a spectacle. Right now, I think maybe if he's out of the equation, they're not commanding that dollar amount, I don't think. And I'm not sure any other star in the game is. So I think that's a one-off just because it's him.
Yeah.
Playing in
I
that
agree.
game.
Well, to me, if you're at spring training, it really doesn't matter who's out on the field. It's more the vibe, right? You're leaning back with a beer and you got your flip-flops on. You're just watching baseball, listening for the crack of the bat. I don't know. So he said that he bailed on that game. Like, screw that. And I don't blame him. So he went to watch a real team, Buck. He went to watch my Kansas City Royals.
Tasty.
And I just looked at the box score. They lost 6-1. They only had 4 damn hits. And Bobby Witt didn't even play.
So your team sucks, and that was a terrible decision on his part.
It wasn't the best. He could go to the Mariners game tonight. They're playing the Padres. But I don't know. But he is alive, and he went and saw my Kansas City Royals today down at spring training. So we'll have a fun show. You know,
YouTube chat's already telling me to keep the empty chair. They don't want to see me.
Yeah, come on. Let's get your beautiful face on there.
Let's see right
so they can comment on it.
How many people?
How many we got? What's our all-time record?
Right now, there are 24 people watching.
Okay.
And we'll get up into triple digits every now and then.
Triple dig.
Our web guy Jake would help better with this, but I'm interested in which our best performing videos are afterwards, because we have a lot of segments up there and old shows up there. I want to know which one of those has got the most run.
I think that Jake says that it's the Dan Lanning stuff.
Oh, that makes sense.
Because he said that other teams' fans like to hear what he has to say.
Sure, that makes sense.
So we're national.
Mm-hmm.
We're a national brand with all 24 of you watching. Well, I appreciate all 24 people watching, but is that worth it? I guess it doesn't cost anything for us to.
Yeah, I think it's only net positive. So
yeah, because I remember
automatically worth it. Maybe
it's just auto worth it.
I mean, it can't not be worth it because it's not costing you anything.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, we did have to hire. Like Meringue, I think part of his job description is he has to handle the YouTube thing.
I think that's right.
And so there are probably some sunken costs. Look, times are tough at Odyssey. Remember they gave me crap over my $8 water bottles. Not in the budget, but I don't know.
It goes drip, drip, drip.
I remember the initiative. It was they were pushing it like, man, we got to get on YouTube. Well, now that we're on YouTube and have been for some time, we're streaming to 30 people, man. Really? I'm not impressed.
Well, hold on. It's 32 now.
Hell yeah.
She added 8 more.
Hell yeah. Welcome, 8 more. What are you guys doing?
Some people are commenting. Troy says, good afternoon.
Hi, Troy.
Todd says, what it do?
Todd. Love Todd. Well, I guess our YouTube stream's a work in progress.
And Scott Mack says he's watching from Scottsdale, but he used to be a Beaverton guy.
He's down in Scottsdale.
Yeah.
Is it nice down there?
It says beautiful weather down there right now.
Well, it's beautiful here too. You know, Buck was talking about this before the show, and I couldn't agree more. I want you all to take note right now of your mood today. And it's probably a little peppier and a little better than normal. You know why that is? Sunshine, dudes. It is gorgeous out there.
Yep.
Was it like 70 degrees and sunny?
I don't care. It got to a point where it was shorts weather, and then the number didn't matter anymore to me.
Well, we were talking the other day about cold plunges, you know? I was listening to a guy, a nutritionist, health guru guy, talk about, and I can't remember the third thing. He said 3 things every person should do every day. One of them was a cold plunge.
Okay.
He's talking about just for your general overall health.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember the third thing, but the second thing was 10 minutes of sunshine every day.
Yeah.
He said if you do, God, what was the third one? Might have been some sort of meditation or something, but
Jim Valvano, smile and cry, something like that.
no. I don't think he wants you to cry.
Well, Jimmy V said that you should do that every day.
I know. I get it. I love Jimmy V. Rest in peace.
10 minutes of sunshine.
Yeah.
A cold plunge.
Yeah, and God, what was the third one?
You think is it like nutrition related? Is it activity related?
It's just something everybody can do. I remember he said people don't know the health benefits of these 3 things, like how much this will help you. Sunshine. Point is, and I'll look it up. I'll see if I can find the third one. But the sunshine, dude, that is real, and you feel it instantly when it's sunny. And you also feel it, and I know you guys out there are maybe a bit like me, and then I get that seasonal depression around here, you know, when it gets gloomy and cloudy. Like, I feel it instantly when it starts raining. When the nice weather goes away in the fall, and it starts raining and it gets kind of nasty, instantly I can feel my mood shift.
See, I'm less like that. Like, I don't really get the seasonal depressive thing as much as I just notice the uptick. Like, I stay pretty even when the weather goes from good to crappy, but when it comes back to good, then I get like a boost. It doesn't like it getting gray or wet. Like, it's not great, but it doesn't bother me that much. I get hyped on the sunshine when it comes back.
Dude, I did outdoor yoga today.
I shot hoops.
Yeah, see? Look at us.
I took the
So
dog
much
for a walk
healthier.
with my wife for like 10 minutes, and when we got back, I was like, I'm going to get some buckets up before I go to work.
Yeah, you are. Like you and Steph
That's right.
dropping 12 threes last night. Well, look, we're happy. We're just a tinge healthier, all because of the sunshine today. So it should be a good show. It's going to be a big show.
Really big show.
Really big. People are saying.
What?
Joey Harrington today, 5:30. He is coming to us from a very special place.
Yeah, and also the YouTube is calling you out now because we're up over 50 viewers right now.
Hell yeah. When is what number do we need to get to for that to actually matter? Like, do we?
I'm the wrong person to ask about that. I don't know.
And look, I'm not trying to minimize the 52 individuals watching. We thank you for that. But don't they? I mean, isn't the idea they want to monetize that?
I mean, probably. I would think.
You know. So do we need? What do we need? 100
Again, I don't
more.
I don't know.
200 more.
Probably.
500.
Probably. What if it is 500? Probably. Maybe.
1, 2, 3, 4.
All right. Well, I'm glad we have a YouTube stream. Okay. So Joey is coming to us today from a very special place. It is not a Turkish bathhouse.
No.
But I'm not going to reveal it.
It's not spring training either.
Nope. He's not at spring training. I won't reveal it until 5:30. So you'll have to wait. You'll have to tune in.
I was thinking about this on the way in because, as I mentioned to you earlier, I discovered some new music today. What are your favorite good weather bands? Like if you're going to listen to music because you're in a good mood on a good day, like what are some go-tos? Do you have bands like that you're like, ooh, when, or maybe it's a genre?
That's a great question.
Like for me, like Steve Winwood always feels
Well,
like really good,
I mean, look,
good weather music.
I'm going straight to yacht rock.
Yeah, I think that's a good call.
Christopher Cross,
Sure.
you know? By the way, the boss is in. He's listening for some reason.
Nice.
He would like me to tell you that live viewers, not terribly relevant. This sounds like a very company thing. But he did
But
say...
it's the clips, right?
Yeah, well, he said we generated almost 5 million impressions from 91,000 unique viewers over the last 90 days.
That seems like a lot. That's a pretty big number.
Yeah. So
5 million. 5 million of anything is a lot.
yeah. See, now you're talking.
That's why we're doing this.
But see, I don't. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm a talking monkey. This is why they don't put me in charge of anything. I don't. We could. What else are we on? Aren't we on CW right now? I think we're on TV.
I think so.
Hi, TV.
And Twitch.
Well, how many people are watching us on TV? I don't know, but somebody's in charge of that, and probably making money off of it. I'm good with it. They just pay me. That's all I care about. As long as the check.
You're getting paid regardless.
That's right. The check clears. I don't even care if anybody hears it. They still pay me.
That may be part of the
care.
problem is that they want you to care how many people hear it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, what were we talking about?
Now we're at 60 people watching.
God, they just file in at 3:00.
That or they thought what you said was a challenge.
Well, but how would they know that if they weren't watching?
They could have been listening, on the radio or on the app, and be like, you know what? Fine, I hear you, Rob. I'll go on YouTube stream.
Are there any women streaming us right now?
Probably.
So you said sunshine bands?
Yeah, good weather bands.
Jack Johnson
Ooh, that's a good call.
comes to mind.
Yeah.
I don't know. Kind of, it goes back to the yacht rock thing, but the Doobies comes to mind.
Beach Boys.
I don't listen to the Beach Boys much.
I don't listen to them much, but when the weather turns and it's really sunny out, they're a good vibe.
I like the Beach. I got to tell you, I think the Beach Boys are, and look, they're not underrated. They're greatness, right?
Yeah, they're appropriately rated.
But they don't get talked about a lot.
Yeah, it feels like their popularity has waned. And I don't know why.
Well, but they're also not a band you just put on. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I don't really ever put on the Beach Boys. I should do that.
My dad did a fair amount, and so maybe that's why for me. But I don't know. Every now and then, they'll come up in a mixed playlist on Spotify or something like that. I'm like, gosh, they're great. I should listen to more of this.
Yeah, every time I hear them, I'm singing along and
yeah,
jiving, but I don't listen to it. Somebody texting in Dave Matthews Band, Jimmy Buffett. Buffett's a good one. CW needs to pay you guys for your Riz. I think that's a good idea.
Cool.
Don't you think? We have Riz that is monetizable.
I like that.
Riz King, Sports Riz King. What about you? Did you name yours?
Yeah, I said for me, Winwood is a go-to.
Oh yeah, Steve Winwood.
Also, Fleetwood Mac is usually great, good weather music.
Yeah.
And then more modern, I really like the War on Drugs, the band. And
not familiar.
Today I was listening to a new rec from a buddy of mine, and now I'm forgetting the name of that rec. I have to look it up. Sam Fender, that's who it was. It's really good.
Yeah. Summertime kind of vibe? Nice weather vibe?
Yeah, just a good weather vibe. And then also it sounds I don't know how many people know this band. They're from Australia, I think. They're called Babe Rainbow, and they are awesome. They're kind of like a yacht rock meets synth pop or something like that.
Synth pop.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I'm out. I got to write it down. What'd you say?
Maybe I'll preview some of these today. Maybe we'll do that.
Throw them in the show.
A little good weather music day.
Yeah. People roll down your windows, crank the fan, honk your horn, put on their shades, dust off the shades. It's gorgeous out there. All right, so Joey 530. We've got the latest on Gene Hackman. I'm following this story very closely. Still dead, but some new info today. We will talk acupuncture today and a lot of NFL musings. We're going to start there. He is back next on The Fan.
Yeah. The home of dirty. Souk on 1080 The Fan.
Yeah, come on. You can't not sing along to this, right? You're so right about the Beach Boys. I need to go download some Beach Boys. Get that on my playlist.
It's just stunning how many hits they have, too.
Oh, yeah. Best Beach Boy song? Is this it?
I mean, I don't know. I like this one a lot. I liked this one when I was like a little kid. But, I mean,
are you not bobbing your head right now?
yeah, I mean, it makes me want to roll my windows down in my car and like turn it up a little bit.
Maybe smoke a cigarette? You know? Why?
So cruising with your buddies.
Go cruising, bro. All right. Welcome back. What's going on? By the way, Souk back again on text and says that he is going to the Mariner game tonight. Because I was lamenting
Nice.
the fact that Bobby Witt did not play for the Royals, and he said he was really pissed about that. But Corbin Carroll hit a home run for the Diamondbacks, and now he's double dipping. He is still boycotting the Dodgers and going to Mariners Padres.
Can I say, a little bit of an upset? 2 baseball games in one day?
Is that an upset?
I think so.
Why?
Because for Souk and a man of his proclivities, it surprises me that that's not being replaced by golf or a bar or something else.
Yeah, that's
you know?
true.
I mean, not that the baseball isn't awesome. It is, but it's like going to watch a pickup basketball game. It's super casual. It's not like you're going to a major league ball game. People are barely paying attention to what's happening on the field. It's a great time, but there's so much other fun Arizona stuff to get into. I'm a little surprised it's 2 games in one day.
Well, he never ceases to amaze us, that man. Jason Skukinik. By the way, Surfing USA listed as the Beach Boys' #1 hit.
I mean, you can't go wrong there.
I don't like it as much, though. It's not like the one you just played, I Get Around.
Mm-hmm.
Way better, I think.
California Girls is pretty good.
Catch a Wave is #2. Surfer Girl 3.
Surfer Girl's too slow for me.
Little Deuce Coupe
Oh, yeah.
is 4. In My Room is 5.
No, again, too slow.
Yeah.
Barbara Ann?
Ooh, great song. Don't see that in the top 10 here.
It's a shame.
Yeah. Fun.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Great song.
Yeah.
Beach Boys. Well, we'll start with some NFL talk. A lot going down at the Combine. You know, all the executives are there, and they're all making deals, backroom deals. Matt Stafford got his deal done today with the Rams. So
that was all just
back.
posturing then?
I don't think it was. I think it was, look, I was reading McVay's quotes, and, you know, look, he wanted Stafford back, and Stafford wanted to be back. But, you know, as McVay put it, there are other considerations like, I don't know, $50 million for a 37-year-old quarterback who gets hurt.
Yeah.
The Rams were probably going, it depends on what we can get him back for. And maybe they had discussions that weren't looking so rosy, and that's why they said, hey, man, go. We want what's best for you. Go shop around. And his agent did. Apparently, the Giants and Raiders both offered Matthew Stafford more money than he's getting in L.A. We don't know the terms of the deal in L.A. yet. We'll know in a couple weeks. But they did a restructured deal that I would imagine there's some stuff in there that's good. It gets Matt Stafford what he wants, but also is good for the team. And they move forward. He said he wanted to stay in L.A., and ultimately he wants to win a Super Bowl. And of the offers that he got, none of those teams are near what the Rams are.
No, the Rams were by far the closest. I
Yeah.
mean, they took the eventual Super Bowl champion to the brink.
Yeah, and they, it just was all about numbers, and they figured it out. So that's good. Now, the Aaron Rodgers sweepstakes begins, if you can call it a sweepstakes, because it's the report is now that the Giants, because they whiffed on Matt Stafford, they're going after Rodgers now.
What are they doing? I
think they're desperate.
But I see those guys. Stafford is like a win now guy. Rodgers maybe is a bridge guy, but like, what are they bridging to? Do they have a plan there? Like, just go get someone and start playing that guy then or something. But Rodgers, their roster is so far away from being competitive. Giving Rodgers $40 million does absolutely nothing for you. Like, just let some kid go out there and get his ass kicked and see if he's got something in the tank for years down the road.
I would agree that Rodgers. I mean, I think, okay, so I agree with you. Rodgers to the Giants doesn't make sense, and I don't know which is worse, him wanting to play for the Giants or the Giants wanting him.
Yeah.
Because I don't know why he would want to go play for the Giants.
Because they don't have, I mean, you would think he'd want to stack wins and, be good.
It's Jets all over again.
Yes.
Like, what are you doing? But I guess, I don't know. We'll see if he goes there. Maybe he doesn't want to play there, but the Giants are trying to go after him, and so are the Raiders. Neither team very good. But I think the Giants, I see why they're doing this because I think they're just desperate. I mean, I think Joe Shane and he's the GM and Dable still there, right?
Yes.
I think those guys are desperate. And
I think that's just it. Sook's talked a little bit about this. Like, if those guys think their asses are on the line this season, that
they have to go
that a guy like Stafford or a guy like Rodgers, even if he doesn't get you over the hump, he probably wins you 2 or 3 more games that a rookie wouldn't win you, and you need those pelts.
That's right. That's right. That's right. So we'll see. I don't know. I don't think Rodgers to the Giants or Raiders makes any sense, but apparently Tom Brady and Pete Carroll are wanting to talk to Rodgers now. And so the Giants and Raiders are kind of fighting over the same guys. I don't know who's after. Is it Darnold after Rodgers? So Stafford was the number 1 guy.
I guess.
Rodgers is out there. Darnold. I mean, I don't even know who else is.
I mean, people are saying that Kirk Cousins may be available since the Falcons are trying to move off of him.
Do you want him? I like him.
I don't want Rodgers either.
Would you rather? I'd rather have Rodgers than Kirk because of the Kirk injury.
The only thing about that is that I think Kirk is way more of a team guy, way more likely to, or way less likely to ruffle feathers and just go along with whatever your coach wants to do. I think they're about the same skill-wise because neither one of them is mobile anymore, and if they can get some protection, they can both still sling it. I don't know that they're that different anymore.
Rodgers. All right, well, that's the latest. Matt Stafford's going back to L.A. When we come back, I want to talk about Hard Knocks. We've got a little Hard Knocks note. And there's a rumor involving the Seahawks, which we'll get to when we return. But first, Buck with SportsCenter.
Now, from the Fan Sports Desk, a SportsCenter update on 1080 The Fan.
Ryan Buckley with this SportsCenter update. First on the Fan, on the hardwood, the Blazers are back in action tonight. It's Game 3 of their 7-game road trip. They've already won the first 2. They are in Brooklyn taking on the Nets. Portland will be without DeAndre Ayton, Robert Williams, and Matisse Thybulle. Meanwhile, Denny Avdia, Jeremy Grant are both game-time decisions. Tip-off for that one at 4:30. The Blazers are 2.5-point road favorites. T-Wolves superstar Anthony Edwards has been suspended 1 game by the league for earning his 16th technical foul of the season in Thursday night's loss against the Lakers. He will miss tonight's game against the Jazz in Salt Lake City. In Philadelphia, the Sixers shutting down Joel Embiid for the remainder of the season due to his knee injury. He finishes the campaign having appeared in just 19 games. In the NFL, the Rams and Matthew Stafford and the speculation of him moving on from L.A. as the two sides have come to terms on a restructured deal. And reports out of New York indicate that the Giants may now be potential suitors for former Packers and Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Ryan Buckley, the 1080 The Fan Sports Desk. Listen live or on demand on the Odyssey app, the Fan's desktop player, or tell your smart speaker to play 1080 The Fan.
Tired of getting dinged by subscriptions?
and there's just so much there. They have such a catalog.
Yeah.
But we forgot about Sloop John B.
Uh-huh.
I think that is a jam.
Okay.
So I would go there. I did see another list of the greatest Beach Boys songs that had God Only Knows as number one, which again...
That's like, for me, that and Surfer Girl and In My Room, I don't like those
Too
songs
slow.
with those pacings.
Yeah,
that
it's not
it's
what
definitely
you think
Beach
of
Boys,
when-
but it's not the best of the Beach Boys.
Yeah, it's not their vibe as much.
Yeah, I agree.
Good tunes. We didn't even mention Good Vibrations.
Yeah, Good Vibrations is a classic.
And Help Me Rhonda, I think, is
oh, yeah.
worthy of
Help Me Rhonda
mention.
for sure.
And as somebody said, Pet Sounds is one of the most influential albums of all time.
Yeah.
And that is very true. So, love you, man. Beach Boys. Okay, well, we're talking a little NFL here. Got a Seahawks rumor. But I saw where Hard Knocks, HBO's Hard Knocks, the off-season one was pretty good. It was with the Giants last year.
Yeah, and it's landed them in quite a bit of hot water because, not hot water, but everyone has continued to go back to the whole Barkley release.
Well, yeah. So it was. I think the off-season one is better than the in-season one because the in-season one is kind of all the same stuff.
We've seen that process in
Yes.
the NFL with now a dozen different teams, and it's all
the same.
It's the players are different, but it's the same formula.
Yeah. So seeing a GM work the off-season behind the scenes is
Very
really
different.
interesting. And so they followed. The star of it was Joe Shane, the Giants GM, and yes. Apparently because on HBO Hard Knocks offseason last year, they were filming when Joe Shane called Saquon Barkley and said, "We think you should go shop around and figure out your value, have your agent bring it back to us, and we'll see if we can do a deal." Well, at the time, I remember watching that at the time, like. That's pretty cool. It's unprecedented sort of access to how this stuff goes down. Very short phone call, but, and in hindsight, a terrible look for the Giants because of everything that Saquon Barkley did. But Saquon said that he wanted to be back with the Giants. So I remember watching it at the time thinking, okay, I see what the Giants are thinking here. I see Joe Shane's train of thought.
And on the surface, as dumb as it might have seemed to have them let him go, they weren't winning a Super Bowl with Saquon Barkley, so it frees them up to do other things.
And running backs, it's funny, the Ravens signed Derrick Henry, who was huge for them.
Yep.
The Eagles signed Saquon Barkley, he was huge for them. But before those signings, we were sitting here talking about how nobody wanted any of these running backs because it's just like they're just not worth paying the money. So I see why Joe Shane was like, yeah, we might want to move on, depending on the price. And so it just didn't age well because of what Saquon Barkley did with the Eagles. Barkley wanted to go back to the Giants, and it's easy to say now, you should have just signed Saquon Barkley. But I at the time, I remember thinking, okay, I see where he's going with this. Well, the rest of the league saw that and how bad that makes the Giants look now.
Yeah.
And so no team, the HBO cannot get a team to sign up for off-season Hard Knocks.
And they already had a bunch of stipulations on things that would make you exempt from having to do it, stuff like having a rookie head coach, stuff like having done it the year before, if you'd done it within the last 5 years. Like, they had all these things that eliminated a lot of teams from even having to be considered, and now their teams straight up don't want to do it.
Yeah, and so they literally could not get a team to do it. So the HBO Hard Knocks offseason is actually going to feature Bill Belichick and North Carolina.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Well, is that crazy?
I think it...
But it's cool.
I think he's pretty boring.
I can't even imagine.
But I do think it'll be fascinating to see how he operates in that space that we have to imagine is different than the one he's used to.
Yeah, I mean, it will be cool to see that. I would say... So he was never on Hard Knocks because the Patriots were always too good.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine he would care to be on it.
I'm sure he would not want to be on it.
But now he understands. I mean,
there's value to it
Yes.
for what he's doing now.
Yes, he gets it. Although I would say I think it's better if you can do it in-house. You send more of I don't know, like the Ducks do it. Like I don't know what the Ducks spend on their little, what do they call those little vignettes they do every week?
There's a couple different ones. They have Ducks versus Them, and then they had that Team Out West was the documentary series they did. But Ducks versus Them was the week-to-week one.
Yeah, I don't know what that costs for them all in.
Whatever it is, it has to be worth it.
I think it's worth it.
I mean, they got national headlines every single week from some tidbit in those things.
And they're really well done. So they, obviously it does cost some money to do that, but I think that's the way to go. Like if you can afford that, and these schools can afford it, it's just do they prioritize it? I don't know if North Carolina prioritizes, maybe it's just easier to have HBO do it, but if you do your own, it can be a great recruiting tool and marketing tool for you. Oregon does it about as good as anybody. I've seen Colorado. I think Colorado does a pretty good job with Dion and all that they do. So this is the new thing. And North Carolina is going to do it through HBO, and it will be interesting to watch Belichick. I think they said it's just going to follow them through the summer as they get ready for the season, which, I don't know. I mean,
he's building a new program from scratch. There have to be fascinating elements to that and what that looks like. Even if it's not that different from what other college programs are doing, we haven't had that many real peeks behind the curtain at what NIL collective era college football looks like behind the scenes. We just don't have it.
Yeah, we'll get it.
I think it's cool.
But those particular months, I don't know what's going on, but whatever. I guess we'll find out.
Lifting, bro.
Yeah, bro.
It's a lot of information, so.
The hoodie.
I mean, I think that time of year, I mean, we saw in that team out west, there wasn't as much team stuff going on. It was like, coaches were taking a retreat together and they were,
That's right.
They're looking at giant roster boards and recruiting boards. And I think, Lanning has said that's where a lot of the motivational things came out of those meetings. So maybe it's going to be them planning out the year ahead for their, year one of a new program, which would be cool to see.
Well, it will, and it will be interesting to see how Belichick's going about running first year of a college program. So that'll be on HBO. I don't know when they'll air it, but they'll probably film them, they said, this summer. The Seahawks rumor that I was teasing is that DK Metcalf might get traded. That is not new because he is in the final year of his deal. And, the question remains, is he a fit? How much are you going to have to pay him? Do you want to pay that guy? He's a little, he's a little uneven, obviously. Obviously really good, but can you get somebody in the draft and save that money and put that money elsewhere? I think the Seahawks may move on from DK Metcalf, in which case they likely will trade him this offseason. And the latest is that Pete Carroll and the Raiders are sniffing around DK, which I'm not exactly sure what the Raiders are doing. I think Tom Brady, obviously, and Pete Carroll, obviously, both very smart, but
the offense was ripping.
Linking them to, they've been linked to Matt Stafford and Rodgers
Russell
and now
Wilson.
DK. Yeah, it's like, is that they look to be trying to hit some
It's weird. I feel
home
like
runs with some guys that aren't going to help them unless they get their roster.
But I also feel like, are they like maybe trying to prove that Las Vegas should be a destination for guys and that like they'll get there? And if they can get some of these guys to sign up there now, it can be an indicator to future free agents. That's a good place to be. And I don't know. Are you bridging to something bigger under this kind of new ownership and coaching?
Well, if I told you, hey, Pete Carroll and Tom Brady are going to be the main pieces of building an NFL team, you could do a hell of a lot worse, right? So I kind of, trust those guys, but at the same time, some of the ways, the ways they're going about it, at least initially, it's kind of puzzling. A bit like the Giants in that, you don't really have the roster, so why are you getting Matt Stafford? Build it inside out and then get your quarterback or your big stud receiver. I don't know. But Pete, I don't know, maybe he likes DK, and the rumor is that Pete's sniffing around a DK Metcalf trade. Also, the Packers have been linked to DK Metcalf, and so have the Patriots.
Well, the Packers, it's no secret. Their starting running back Josh Jacobs went to the media Super Bowl media week before the Super Bowl, obviously, and he basically said, "No disrespect to the guys on our roster, but we need a number one wide receiver." Yeah. And the other wide receivers are like, "Okay, we heard that, but yeah, they absolutely do." Who does Jordan Love really have that he's throwing the ball to?
God, well, Watson.
Yeah, and he's good.
He's good.
But I think DK
Yeah,
would
they
be
need
a
a
step up for them. And
DK is really good. I don't know. Would you pay him if you're Seattle? Would you? I'd trade him.
I
He's a headache.
think he's a little bit of a headache, and it's not like you don't like the cupboard's bare. Like Jackson Smith and Jigba is going to be really good,
Yeah.
and I think finding a DK Metcalf is hard to do because he's a unicorn as far as his physicality. But you're right, the headache is there. The production hasn't been great. I don't know if you can say that's because you didn't have a line that could protect your quarterback long enough for you to get downfield or whatever. But I don't know if you can get a good haul for him. Maybe it's worth turning that position over and going in a different direction.
Got Lockett too.
I think isn't he hanging him up?
Is he done?
He's either done or he has 1 year, but he's at the tail end. I think he might be done.
Did you see who's plotting to get Myles Garrett?
No. I saw that Myles Garrett says he's not signing a contract extension and that the team says, well, we're not trading you.
Yeah, they're at a standoff. They're going to have to trade him.
Yeah.
He ain't signing there. Eagles.
Oh, God.
Yeah, God is right.
Jeez.
Ouch. The Eagles are plotting to make a run at Myles Garrett. And that is terrifying, considering their defensive line already. Ugh. Side note, I was looking back at those player report card things that we were talking about the other day. Most of the coaches got good grades. So this is the anonymous NFL Players Association survey. And they rate coaches, and most of the coaches got good grades. As a matter of fact, only 3 coaches in the whole league got worse than a B grade, including like Mike McCarthy got an A. Like the players liked Mike McCarthy in Dallas. They did not.
liked Mike McDaniel in Miami.
Yep. So only 3 coaches got worse than a B. Jags Doug Peterson.
Okay.
And he got fired.
Yep.
The Bears, with what's his nuts, he got fired.
Eberflus, who was completely inept.
Yeah, he got fired. And the other one, you know what the third one was? You got any guesses on the third one? There was only one other coach that got worse than a B, and they all got C's.
I think I saw this, but now I can't remember who it was.
Kevin Stefanski of the Bears.
That's
Browns,
right. That's right.
Which I'm surprised by, because I thought players kind of liked him, and look, they had a terrible year. Not sure it's all his fault, but yeah, he's the only of the 3 that players were lukewarm on that didn't get fired.
Huh. Well, he's probably next then, isn't he?
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
because you have superstar players wanting out. You can't figure out your way around that quarterback position with all the stuff that's happened with Watson and then Jameis. And I mean, some of this isn't his fault because, you got to put it on the GM, but yeah, there's some talent there and they're not going anywhere.
I think it's him or Dable next to go.
Yeah. Could see that.
All right. Good times. NFL. Coming up next, creating the ultimate superstar, Steph Curry edition.
Yeah.
When we return on The Fan.
The best
So Buck is giving us all good weather music today because of this great weather. A couple people have mentioned Grateful Dead as a great good weather band.
Yeah, and this is a regular in our rotation, but it just happened to pop up right now, so fitting.
By the way, I was looking at quarterbacks because we were talking about Stafford going back to L.A. Rodgers is probably next in line. You mentioned Kirk Cousins could be available. I was just looking at, because I was stumped as to who the top free agent quarterbacks were. And boy, it is not a great list. Obviously, Sam Darnold, we mentioned him. So we'll see what Minnesota does with him or if he goes somewhere else. Good stopgap guy, I guess, for somebody like, I don't know, the Raiders. Another one is Russell Wilson. If the Steelers move on from Russell Wilson, I could see Russ, I don't know his relationship with Pete, but I could see him going to Vegas for a year or two and
I could absolutely see that.
ending his career there and then bridging the gap to whoever the Raiders draft or whatever, maybe a Shedeur Sanders or something. Also, Justin Fields, a free agent. If that tickles you, probably not. And the great Mac Jones is also a notable quarterback free agent. Has he not had Mac Jones? Has he had a fair shake?
I thought
Well,
he got a pretty
fair.
fair shake in New England, right?
I don't think fair shake's the right term.
He didn't have a lot around him, but then again,
New
England was never really had a ton of weapons.
I don't know if he is a perennial backup yet. Is that a hot take? In other words, I think somebody may give him a shot at some point. Maybe not, though. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't.
You kind of forget about Mac Jones.
And doesn't he have kind of a reputation for being like a jerk and a red ass and stuff like that? So it's like
maybe it's
usually you don't want that guy as your backup because you don't want someone who's hard to work with. Is he done here? Because I mean, who's giving him a shot?
Yeah, you're right. Probably no one.
Cleveland?
Who is Cleveland's
What are
quarterback?
they? I mean,
Is Watson back?
well, he tore his Achilles, remember? So he's
he's out.
And I think they're moving off of Jameis. So
Yeah. Oh, he's a free agent too.
right.
Not a bad.
But so I don't know where they go. I saw someone
what are they
suggest
gonna do?
Cousins for them, but
yeah, they'll probably draft one.
yeah, they're a good candidate to draft one for sure.
Tim Couch.
In what can't be coincidence, Shedeur Sanders has said he loves playing with the Browns on Madden. Whenever he plays Madden, he always chooses the Browns. So they got so many weapons.
Okay.
So I don't know if he's stumping to be picked by them in that spot, but maybe.
I am very interested to see Shedeur in the NFL.
I think a lot of people are.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's interesting prospect.
He had like the highest completion percentage like ever last year. It was like 73%. And a lot of people are saying that he doesn't have that much arm. His game might not translate. I don't know. I'll be interested.
All right. We got to get to Steph, your boy.
That's right.
And it makes me sad.
No, it makes me happy.
Steph makes you sad. Steph Curry hit 12 threes last night.
Yep.
And we're going to talk about him.
Freaking
And
legend.
other NBA notes, including Joel Embiid being shut down. He might get traded this offseason.
Who's going to want to take that on?
Yeah, I mean,
there's a lot of talent there,
Lakers.
but he's not available very often, and he's a headache.
And he makes a ton of money.
Yeah.
He's going to make $60 million next year.
For 19 games? Cool.
$60 million. God. We'll get to all that coming up next on The Fan.
An Odyssey Sports Station. Now, from the Fan Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on 1080 The Fan.
Ryan Buckley with this Sports Center update. First on the Fan on the hardwood tonight. The Blazers are back in action. They'll tip it off in about a half an hour in Brooklyn. It's game 3 of their 7-game road trip. They're taking on the Nets. Portland will be without DeAndre Ayton, Robert Williams, and Matisse Thybulle. Meanwhile, Denny Avdia and Jeremy Grant are game time decisions. Tip off for that one at 4:30. The Blazers still favored by 2.5 on the road. T-Wolves superstar Anthony Edwards has been suspended a game by the league for earning his 16th technical foul of the season in Thursday night's game against the Lakers. He will miss tonight's game in Salt Lake City. In Philadelphia, the Sixers are shutting down Joel Embiid for the rest of the season due to his knee injury. He finishes the campaign having appeared in just 19 games. And in the NFL, the Rams and Matthew Stafford and the speculation on his future. The two sides have come to terms on restructuring his deal, and news out of New York indicates that the Giants may be potential suitors for former Rams and Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Ryan Buckley from 1080 The Fan Sports Desk. Listen live or on demand on the Odyssey app, the Fan's desktop player, or tell your smart speaker to play 1080 The Fan.
The ultimate basketball party, Fan Madness, is back. March 20th and 21st at the Stadium Sports Bar at A&A Sportsbook. More info at 1080thefan.com.
What's the most resilient parasite?
Primetime with Isaac and Sue.
Can build cities, can transform the world, and rewrite all the rules.
That's what I'll be doing every single night.
Which is why... No! I have to steal it.
What are you talking about, Willis?
This is Primetime with Isaac and Sue.
It's gonna work. It's passable, okay? This isn't terrible.
The best in local, regional, and national sports. With no hidden agenda. Primetime with Isaac and Sue on 1080 The Fan.
All right. Welcome back. What are you doing? It's me, Rob.
Come on, Rob!
Big Sook's out at spring training, doing a doubleheader today. Saw my Royals lose to the Diamondbacks, and now he's going to the Mariners game tonight. Dodgers game, too expensive. Buckley is over there.
And also, who's in charge of your penis?
Whoa. That was a drop. This is hour 2 of the radio program. Hour 3, we will have Joey Harrington on from a very special place. He is traveling, and we'll call him. And I'm not going to tell you where he's calling from.
He's traveling, and he will call him?
I said we will call him.
Oh, I thought you said he will call him. At least that's what it sounded like.
Shut up, Buckley.
What? You rarely have good questions.
I do know that.
No, we're going to call him at 5:30, and he's going to come on. He's going to tell us where he is, and he's going to tell us what he's doing. And it's pretty cool.
Why are you going there?
Steph Curry, 12 threes last night. How many do you have?
56.
God.
56.
You know, listen, it's well documented here. I don't watch a lot of NBA, okay? I don't like the league. I think the league kind of sucks. And when the Blazers aren't any good, it's just, doesn't mean a lot for our show, so I don't watch a ton of it. It's got a lot of problems, that league. But I tell you what, one thing that isn't a problem for the NBA is Steph freaking Curry.
He's so good.
Dude, he is, and I forget about him. Because the Warriors aren't that relevant anymore. Sorry.
Well, look out. 7-1 since the Jimmy Butler trade.
Okay. And yeah, I mean, you can't count them out.
They were on the outside of the play-in looking in, and they were getting counted out. Now they've had a little resurgence. I don't think they can make a run or anything, but suddenly they're playing good ball again, and Steph has turned it.
But what year did they last win the title?
22.
22? Yeah, so these last 3 years, whatever. But Steph, still there. I don't know how old he is now. Mid-30s by now?
Yeah, he's got to be 33, maybe 34. Let's find out.
Yeah, why don't you Google that? But I love him. I got to profess my love.
He's 36.
Yeah, he's 36. Okay. And he's still kicking some serious ass.
That's right.
The Olympics thing, and he's just, if you concocted a superstar in a lab, that guy might be what is spit out.
You could not create, at least from the outside looking in, a more perfect image of a superstar. The worst thing anyone has to say about him is that he's annoying for chewing his mouth guard. That's it. What is
I don't find that annoying. Do you?
that what I'm saying is that's the only thing anyone can grasp at.
Yeah.
Like, or some people have said that his wife's annoying. And it's like,
Okay,
whatever. She tweeted one time that the game was rigged.
Well,
Who
off the
cares?
court, there's not been any problems.
Nothing.
He's a blast to watch.
Yeah.
in
He's
a league.
electric.
See, that's the thing about LeBron. LeBron's the greatest of all time, in my opinion. But he's not that fun to watch. He's just a tank.
And maybe that's
Steph
where
is
that's
like-
the thing is LeBron is physically impressive,
Correct.
whereas watching Steph is just fun.
Well, and it's not to say that LeBron doesn't have skill. Obviously,
Of course
he's the
he
greatest of all time. But when you talk skill, just basketball skill, Steph Curry just jumps off the page. He is awesome. And he's been awesome for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you know him. He's your close personal friend,
That's
Steph
right.
Curry.
Yeah, we're like this.
I just don't think you could ask for a better superstar. My question about him would be, how do you think he goes down in history? Because he's kind of LeBron era overshadowed a little bit, even though they had a nice little rivalry there, and he's won titles.
Well, he and LeBron met 4 times in the titles,
Yeah.
and he won 3 of them.
Yep. Well, should have won 4.
Should have won 4. I mean, I think it's really hard when you have to start like comparing eras and what are you going to do with Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain and stuff like that. But as far as we're talking about like all-time NBA greats, he's a top 10 player.
Oh, you think so?
I think he
top
is.
10 all time.
Yeah.
Whoa.
He's the greatest shooter that ever lived, and it's
That's
not
true.
close.
And that's going to be, I think, right there. That's his legacy.
That's but then you also see like all the things that teams have done to try to stop him, and he still finds ways to score. His ball handling is unbelievable. His finishing at the rim is unbelievable. He's led teams to championships. He's added a gold medal to his resume. He put on the most electric international basketball finish over France that we've seen since ever, like on the international stage. I mean, he's got a lot going for that legacy right now.
Yeah, he's awesome. I don't know that he's top 10. I was just looking at the ESPN, what do they do, the 70 best? They did this most recently. They had Shaq, Kobe. This is their top 10. All time, they had Shaq, Kobe.
See, I put him ahead of Shaq.
I don't. I mean, I like him more than Shaq, but...
I mean, Shaq was dominant, but...
Dominant. Absolutely
That's
dominant.
the only unanimous MVP ever.
You build a good case.
Had the best offensive season ever.
Tim Duncan is 8. Larry Bird, Wilt Chamberlain, you remember him?
I do.
Magic, Bill Russell, Kareem, Jordan, LeBron. And I can't argue with any of that.
No.
I mean, if you're replacing one guy in the top 10 for Steph Curry, it might be maybe Duncan. Maybe, but I don't think so.
I mean, Duncan's got all the same championships that Curry has. I think those guys are really good.
That's a good comp. Yeah.
I mean,
no, you're right.
It's weird because all those guys have different legacies. Like LeBron is obviously a top 10 player of all time, but he's moved around and he's like,
people don't like him.
He's rubbed some people the wrong way. A lot of his game is just physical, brutish force. Yeah, I mean, and then you look at guys like Larry Bird was an amazing basketball player, but and then people say, well, what would he do in today's NBA? Would he be just a guy? I mean, I know he stacked championships and he stacked scoring titles and things like that.
Awesome.
But
he'd be a killer.
Probably.
Because he was a killer.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I never thought of Steph as a top 10 guy. I mean, he certainly makes a case. Somebody else brought up the fact that, think about the way he changed the game with his and that's true too.
And maybe now for the worse, because whether it's what all the other teams are just chucking. But they were the first to kind of do the 3 is better than 2, and we don't care if we miss more of those because we'll end up making more than our opponent. That has contributed to making some of the league unwatchable, and it's contributed to making youth sports terrible. But he's the only guy in the sport since Jordan with the dunk contest has revolutionized it with taking this shot.
Well, you can mimic him. And you can't.
Yeah.
You can't really mimic LeBron. You can't.
No.
It's just you have to be built like him.
But the embrace of the 3-pointer is the biggest thing since the embrace of the dunk.
Yeah, for sure. And he's. You said, what did you say last night? 9 or more 3-pointers in a game.
Yeah, so I have a couple stats on this. The first one that I sent you was that players in the NBA who have had performances of 9 or more three-pointers in a single game, you have, let's see here, CJ McCollum's got 3 of those games. J.R. Smith's got 5 of them. Ant Simons has 5 of them. James Harden has 9. Dame Lillard has 14. Klay Thompson has 12. Steph has 45. 45 games of 9 or more three-pointers. And then he obviously kept going. And the other stat that's just as staggering, there have only been 20 games in the history of the league where a player's made 11 or more three-pointers. How many of those do you think belong to Steph?
How many again?
20 total games where a player's made 11 or more threes.
Well, I'm guessing all of them.
He's got 14 of the 20.
Who are the others?
Well, Klay Thompson had the 3-point single game record for a while. He might still at 14. I think Ant Simons might have had one of those games. But, I mean, only 6 other games by any NBA player where there's been 11 three-pointers.
This pertains to nothing, but when I was at Kansas, there was a guy by the name of Downtown Terry Brown.
Okay. I bet Dame has one of those games, by the way, with 11 threes.
11?
Let's find out. It's not going to be hard to find.
And there was a game, I don't even remember who he was playing, but just one magical day at Allen Fieldhouse, we were at the game watching KU play, and Downtown Terry Brown hit 11 threes. And that place was nuts, and it was awesome. I'll never forget it. Downtown Terry Brown. And he never did anything after that. But 11 threes, dude, it was magical. I mean, there's something about the three-pointer. But Steph, I love the fact that you said Steph is the Tim Duncan of this time, and I think that's right.
Because he's perfect in every way for his team, for the game, and he's not the most popular. That's still LeBron, and he's not the most talked about. That's still a lot of these other guys who are like doing the social media stuff, and he's not really very polarizing, but he's just been incredible.
Here's a text. Yeah, he's likely got to be top 10. Think how he changed the game to people just chucking now from deep rather than driving to the lane. He's changed the game. The 2016 NBA Finals will go down as the best 7-game series in NBA history. Best finals, best comeback. It has everything.
But just he lost that, though.
Well, yeah, that's LeBron's comeback. But just that finals deserves a documentary. Curry is a top 10 player for sure. Bird would be a star today, but seriously, LeBron is supremely talented besides being a 41-year-old specimen. Yes, of course. Who said LeBron wasn't talented?
Oh, no, nobody. But their skills are very different.
Yeah. Well, and again, it's not to say LeBron's not skilled.
No.
He's just, it's a bit like the Shaq thing in a way that he's just built differently. Like, you can't stop him. He's a tank.
All right. Records for three-pointers in a game. Klay Thompson has 14. That's the all-time single-game record. Steph Curry, Zach LaVine, and Damian Lillard have done 13 in a game.
Okay. I don't remember Lillard's 13 games.
That was
13 threes.
That was against the Rockets in February of 2023.
Huh. Okay.
He went 13 of 22 from deep. Damn. And then guys who hit 12 in a game, Kobe Bryant, Donyell Marshall, Curry twice, Lillard twice, Klay Thompson 3 times, Keegan Murray.
What?
That's it.
Keegan Murray.
Then there's a bunch of guys who've got 11 in a game. But
well, I'm sorry. I love your boy Steph Curry. I think he's greatness.
I do too.
I love everything about him.
Forgot to mention, he's a golf bro.
He loves golf and he's good at it. And Steph Curry is probably the funnest basketball player to watch. I'm thinking since ... I got to say it. Jordan.
I think that's right.
I think he's the funnest basketball player since Jordan.
Yeah. I mean, everything from... I still remember covering him in the Bay Area and his pregame routine becoming such a spectacle that people were showing up to the arena like 2 hours early like it was batting practice at a baseball game. It was unbelievable. They wanted to just watch how he warmed up, how shooting it from distance, his tunnel shot, whatever. I mean, people are captivated by the guy in ways that no one's been captivated by a basketball player's talent.
He's got it all, man. And he landed on your team. And you got to go to his house.
3 of his houses.
3 different homes?
Yeah, well,
What were you doing? You were like
he kept getting paid, and then they kept moving to bigger homes. But I was before he became a really big deal, and before the Warriors won their first title, his wife was interested in elevating her public profile, and she's in the culinary sphere, and we said that we would be happy to do a monthly cooking feature with her in our Warriors monthly magazine show. And so part of that was like, obviously you say yes to this because it gets you a pass into Steph Curry's house once a month. So we're like, we got to do this. Even if she sucks at cooking, even if she sucks on TV, we still need to go do this. But she was great, and the segment ended up being really popular, and he was a super nice guy. So for 4 seasons in a row, I went to his house once a month during the year.
And what was he doing while she was doing the
It was
bits?
funny, like, because they had like young kids at the time, or were having kids around that time, and so she usually didn't want to schedule it if he was going to be gone at practice or gone on the road. So we were almost guaranteed to be there around him all the time, and mostly he was just taking care of the kids so she could do the cooking segment.
Yeah. Take these S-heads while I go on TV.
But then he would always be a good sport and throw a microphone on and like come in for the taste test of the food afterwards. And he was the one who asked me and a cameraman if we wanted to sit down and have lunch with him one of these days. And like, just super gracious guy.
What do you order?
It was, his wife made shrimp and grits. It was delicious.
Ooh, shrimp and grits, huh?
Yeah.
I can't get behind that dish.
Okay, well, you don't have to.
I do love shrimp. And I love Steph Curry. So there we go. A little hot Steph Curry talk. 12 threes last night, 56 points, still doing his thing.
Did you see the other thing that he basically is now the owner of February 27th on the calendar?
Why?
It was also the night he hit the famous double bang Mike Breen shot against Oklahoma City. That was his 11th three of the game and was a game winner.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was also the night of his first 50-point game in Madison Square Garden when he scored 54. So he's had 3 50-point performances, or a 40 and 2 50s on February the 27th.
And man, can he hit an 8-iron.
I wonder what his best club is.
What's your best club?
What's my best club?
Yeah. What club do you? Isn't it weird how you feel more comfortable with a I mean.
Yeah, it's my 4 hybrid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
I feel like I can knock that thing straight 185, 200 anytime I want.
You give me a pitching wedge 130.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be money.
Okay.
At least I feel that.
I used to feel that way.
I'm confident.
Less so these days with the irons.
Well, anyway, a couple people bringing up Allen Iverson. Steph Curry, the most fun to watch since Allen Iverson.
Iverson was really fun to watch.
He was. Curry, I think more so.
Yeah, Curry a better scorer. I mean, Iverson could get to the bucket, and he had to be really creative with how he handled the ball because he was so little.
Did you ever get to see Steph naked? Somebody asked on the text line.
Never did see Steph naked. No.
Wow.
It is weird though. You cover sports long enough, and you've been in enough locker rooms, and you see someone pop up on TV, and you're like, "Oh yeah, I've seen that person's penis."
Yeah, I've seen him naked. Saw Yao Ming naked. That's my.
Is that yours?
Claim to fame. Yeah. After the Blazers Rockets playoff game, went into the visiting locker room. Oh, dude, that guy. You ever see him up close?
I've been in like the same arena as him, but I've never stood
like right next to him.
No.
His sheer size. I mean, dude, he is an. I don't know. It's hard to even describe that dude up close.
I also think,
and I'm not even talking about his nude body.
Sure, just the sheer
Just
size
him.
of like
I'm trying
a
to keep it clean,
7'4" guy. Yeah.
His legs are like bigger than me.
Like
it's
tree
like
trunks.
2 of me as his legs.
Yeah, that's right.
It's crazy.
It's insane.
All right, a couple of other NBA notes coming up next. Joel Embiid, will he be traded? And there is another team who spoke to the Mavs about Luka, we're finding out. That's next on The Fan.
The home of Dirt and Spray.
I'm Dirt.
Auburn is the only team in the country
Luke on 1080 The Fan.
We're playing nice weather music. This is Sam Fender.
That's right.
And who is Sam Fender?
I don't know. A friend of mine shared Sam Fender with me because I like the band, as I mentioned before, War on Drugs, and he thought it had a similar vibe. I don't disagree, and I really like this jam for good weather.
I like horns. Yeah. Someone said they sat front row. Yao Ming's legs were as wide as Joel Prisbilla's waist as they boxed out on free throws. That's right, dude. His legs, unbelievable. The sheer size of that dude's legs. And his third leg.
Is that right?
No, I will not reveal what I saw. Look, when you go into cover naked guys in locker rooms, it's always a very awkward thing.
Yeah.
But most of the time, like a lot of the guys just cover up, they have a towel or whatever.
Most of the time, and that's kind of, I think, how it is now. Yeah. It's really rare that everyone's just walking out, dongs out.
Yeah,
like, it's not.
Yeah, you don't often see, but every once in a while you just catch something at the wrong time, like because you're not looking. You don't want to. You just.
But it's there.
But
I mean, you would still notice someone's pants if they were a certain color or whatever.
And so every once in a while you just look a certain direction and it's just right there. It's like ah. And that was.
It's not looking. It's seeing. There's a difference,
yes. You know? Yeah, exactly. So Joel Embiid, they're saying now they're going to shut his ass down because he's hurt again. 19 games this year, you said?
19.
God, that dude, he had injury troubles all the way back to Kansas. Remember, the year that he was at Kansas, he was only there 1 year. The year he was there, he played most of the season, but then he got hurt. They were the best team in college basketball. They were going to. I mean, he was awesome in college, like right away. And he got hurt. They shut him down, and Kansas got upset in the tournament. So this has been going on, even in college. And I just don't know what you do. I think the Sixers are stuck with him. I was reading today, he's got about $200 million left on his deal, $60 million he's going to make next year.
Well, in addition to the injury stuff, I don't know if you're paying attention to this. I want to say it was maybe a month ago or so, but like, they had to have a big players-only meeting, and Tyrese Maxey, who's now like the real superstar there, essentially like came out and said like people are sick of his act. He's not showing up to meetings. He's late places, and they've been like teammates and the front office been covering him for long enough, and everyone's kind of tired of his deal. Like,
oh boy,
it's not like even if he's healthy, I don't think he's necessarily the guy you want to roll with.
Well, I guess the question is, does anybody? There's always desperate teams that make moves for guys that talented. But with that price tag, maybe some, like you say, some motivational issues or his act, whatever, that factors. Like, is a team would they trade for Joel Embiid? Like, would you? You're a Blazers?
I wouldn't, no.
I mean, the Blazers would.
But here's the thing. If you're the Blazers, you already have a hard time landing superstars. It's different for each franchise, right? Depending on how much money is at your expense, how hard it is to get a Joel Embiid type player. Would it suck for him to do the same thing that he's doing in Philly now on your roster if you committed a bunch of money to him? Yeah, absolutely. But is it your only chance to get a guy like him? Also, maybe.
It's true. That's true. And who knows? Maybe he stays healthy. Maybe you get lucky.
Seems unlikely, but you might have to roll the dice on that.
Yeah, I don't know, because when he's healthy, he's awesome. But it's I don't know what the Sixers would even get in return, like what that market would be. That's a weird one. But they're saying they're going to shut him down for the rest of the season, and then we'll see what happens with them in the offseason. But I don't know. I think they're probably stuck with him. Another team spoke to the Mavs about Luka. It is being reported by Sam Amick. Because we've, to this point, thought that, or at least it's only come out that Nico just called the Lakers, but he also called the Bucks, I think, right?
It was initially believed that it was just Nico and Pelinka keeping things quiet. But yes, it is out there that, well, if we're going to take a shot on acquiring a superstar, let's go for Giannis first.
And that's wise.
And the Bucks said, no, thank you.
Yeah, no, thanks. The other one that that Sam Amick is reporting that they call that the Mavs called is Minnesota for a swap with Anthony Edwards.
Interesting. I didn't know that one.
Yeah,
Huh.
that came out today. And, of course, didn't happen. And Amick also reported that the Timberwolves were absolutely stunned by that phone call. Floored.
I bet I bet the Bucks were too.
Guaranteed. Well, so was Rob Pelinka.
Yes.
By the way, were they chanting, did I read right, that they were chanting, "Thank you, Nico," at the Lakers-Mavs game the other
That's correct. Yeah.
So they're going to put up a statue of Nico Harrison in LA
And
now?
much to my surprise, Nico was in the building, sitting in
went.
the stands.
Yeah, they showed him.
There's a pretty cold photo of Luka like eyeballing him from the court and him like locking eyes. It's pretty good.
Yeah, he was down there pre-game. High-fiving Pelinka. Unbelievable.
Boy.
Unbelievable.
If you're a Mavs player, do you just want to hit him?
Yes.
Chumming it up with the guy you just made the deal with in his house.
Kyrie. I mean, what must he think? He's like, we were good. Now we're... Although you did get Anthony Davis for a half.
Quarter and a half.
What a mess. All right, we got to go because we've got In the News coming up next. Somebody named a restaurant in Oregon number 2 in the United States.
Whoa.
Yes. Now...
Is it one we've been to?
It is not Con.
Okay.
It's something I've never heard of this restaurant.
Oh.
And I'm sort of doubting. I mean, look, I don't want to...
Skepticism is...
Well, I'll see if you've been. It's we'll talk about it.
We'll get into it.
We will. Coming up next, here's Buck.
Now, from the Fan Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on 1080 The Fan.
Ryan Buckley with this Sports Center update. First on The Fan, just moments away from tip-off in Brooklyn as the Blazers take on their third game of the 7-game road trip. They're looking to make it 3-0 so far on that trip, but will be without DeAndre Ayton, Robert Williams, and Matisse Thybulle. Blazers still 2.5-point road favorites. T-Wolves superstar Anthony Edwards has been suspended 1 game by the league for earning his 16th technical foul of the season in Thursday night's game against the Lakers. He will miss tonight's affair with the Utah Jazz in Salt Lake. In Philadelphia, the Sixers are shutting down Joel Embiid for the remainder of the season due to his knee injury. He finishes the campaign having appeared in just 19 games. In the NFL, the Rams and Matthew Stafford have restructured his deal, bringing him back to L.A. for another season. And reports out of New York indicate the Giants may be potential suitors for former Packers and Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Ryan Buckley, the 1080 The Fan Sports Desk. Listen live or on demand on the Odyssey app, the Fan's desktop player, or tell your smart speaker to play 1080 The Fan.
Jump back to earlier parts of your favorite fan shows on the Odyssey app. The only way to rewind Portland's sports leader.
Number 2 in the U.S. Twisted Gyros.
Really?
Yeah. You ever been there?
I haven't, and gyro's like one of my wife's favorite foods. So
She loves the gyro. Huh?
Loves the gyro. Loves Mediterranean cuisine.
Well, they say, I caught this on Oregon Live. They posted this and said that Twisted Gyros in Hillsboro was awarded the second place spot thanks to glowing 5-star reviews that praise the entire fusion menu.
So that's the other thing about this, and this is why, in general, I think you can be skeptical of things like Yelp. To me, this sounds like the restaurant has just done the best job of convincing customers to leave a 5-star review. It might be that they're great, and if customers are willing to do it, chances are they're pretty damn good. But are they the number 2 restaurant in the country because they serve the second best food in the country, or because they've gotten their customers to leave their most good reviews?
So this says, to compile the top 100 list, Yelp says their data science team starts by using the data generated from our community submissions. We considered both the rating and the volume of the reviews while accounting for the overall restaurant activity in each business's area. From the candidate restaurants, we narrowed the list down with the expertise of our community managers and trend experts to curate a list as quirky, interesting, and unique as the Yelp community itself. Ick. 3 other Oregon restaurants made the top 100. Dos Mundos, which is a food truck in Newburgh.
I've had that. Incredible Mexican food.
Is that right?
Yes. Really good.
Where exactly in Newburgh?
It's honestly, it's like a little cart in front of like a Craig and Auto Parts or something. It's
really?
Like it's like right off of 99, and it is one of the best burritos maybe the best burrito I've had in the area.
Well, why did you go there? Were you told about it?
My mom lives in Newburgh. So like,
you just stopped to get a burrito? Well, we'll try.
I mean, we're either going to or from, and like, can we pick up lunch or something? I mean, I don't know. My mom and my stepdad go frequently because they knew about it, and it's awesome.
The food cart thing is hard because I just don't know whether to. I guess you got to go by recommendation.
Yeah.
Because I just don't know whether to trust them.
Well, it's like a food cart getting a great recommendation is different than a restaurant getting a great recommendation. In both cases, you're assuming good food, but you would recommend a restaurant for other reasons besides just the food, the ambiance, the menu, like drinks, whatever. Whereas if you're recommending a food cart, it's pretty much just the
good.
food.
Yeah, it's just food. Yeah, just good food. The Riv Cafe is a coffee shop in the Dalles.
Never heard of it.
Has a hearty brunch. Made the list, number 53. And OC Taco, Oregon City Taco Shop.
All right.
Offers margaritas and house specialty cocktails. That came in at number 98 via Yelp. So,
way to go, local institutions.
Well, I'm guessing that is an important thing for those restaurants. Any restaurant.
I'm sure it is.
To get
That's
on
the kind
lists.
of thing that you then frame and you put in your little entryway. And
Hell yeah. All right. Portland has lost the world's smallest park distinction.
No!
You know we have the world's smallest
I
park.
do. I've been to that park.
Yeah? Did you play in the park?
There's not really room to play in the park. I set foot in the park.
What is it? Mills End Park? Or Mill Ends Park?
Yeah.
That's the one in Portland. It's right on NATO. Cheeky little thing, you know.
It's so dumb.
It is. It really is
It's
dumb.
a patch of grass that you filed some paperwork for. That's
Right.
what it is.
Well, it has held the record for world's smallest park, and this is the actual Guinness World Records. Mill Ends Park in Portland has held that record since 1971.
I guess I didn't know it was the world's smallest. I thought it was the smallest maybe in the country, yeah, interesting. I had no idea.
Go searching for a smaller park, Buckley, in anywhere in the world, and you will not find it until you go to Japan. Because
China!
Mill Ends Park has been knocked off the throne. The honor now belongs to a town called Nagazumi, Japan.
Okay.
It's over an hour southwest from Tokyo. Their park's area is just 2.5 square feet, which is about the size of a few sheets of paper. And according to Guinness, it features an entrance and a small bench and even some grass.
Even some grass.
So I don't know.
Now, did the mill Mills End.
Mill Ends.
Mill Ends. Did they have?
It has a little tree, I think.
That's
Doesn't
right. I'm like, I don't think they had seating though, right?
it? No, it's too small.
But the new smallest one has a room for a bench.
But it's like a freaking mouse could sit on the bench, not a human.
Oh, so it's not a person-sized bench.
You know how small Mill Ends Park is.
Yeah, I've been there.
This one is like twice as small. Not even twice as small. It's like way smaller.
This is so dumb.
Well, Portland better get to work on getting that back. We need wins.
We do?
Why steal a dump truck?
Oh.
Why would you do that? Why would anyone do that? Well, we have a woman who stole a dump truck with a knife at knife point.
Sounds scary.
Is it?
I don't know. You
If
can
you're
tell
a
me
dump-
now or after the break.
Well, maybe after the break. But you're a dump truck driver, and a woman comes up to you with a knife and wants your dump truck. Don't you you're like, fine, here you go.
Yeah, or
Good luck.
from my perch on my dump truck, I just kick her in the knife, and I I take care of that.
Kick her in the knife, huh?
I mean, if she's holding you up in your dump truck, don't you have an aerial position to just boot that thing?
I mean, come on, listen. A woman with a knife, is that? Well, never mind.
Careful.
Yeah. We'll get to that next on The Fan.
This is the Fan's Window into Sports, a view into today's top stories. Brought to you by Window Nation, online at windownation.com.
The man had 56 points. There is no aside from Steph. He had 56. So be completely transparent. 34 free throws for a jump shooting basketball team is tough to overcome as well.
That's Jamal Mosley of the Magic.
He was asked, aside from Steph Curry, what did you think happened for tonight? And he goes, the man scored 56 points. There is no aside from Steph Curry.
Well, he did mention free throws.
Yeah, I guess he didn't like the referee.
The Fans Window into Sports brought to you by Window Nation. 50% off all window styles, 5 years interest-free financing through the end of today. You must call now. Call them at 866-90-NATION to schedule an estimate or visit windownation.com.
The Fan is live on YouTube.
On 1080 The Fan.
So here's Buck's favorite.
Oregon Coast soundtrack music.
Yeah, the war on drugs.
Yeah. It's a vibe.
Yeah, all right.
Kind of be your vibe. That's fine.
Right.
Mix it up next.
This is in the news, Feb 28, 2025. A woman was arrested after stealing a dump truck by knife point on Thursday. Deputies reported to Northwest Onion Company, just north of Brooks, around 2 p.m. They spoke with employees who said the woman, 35-year-old Tiffany Cummings, had taken off with the vehicle after making threats with a knife. Officers tracked down the dump truck near Portland Road and Howell Prairie Road Northeast.
More like Tiffany Goings, if I'm catching your drift.
I like that. Cummings and Goings refused to get out of the vehicle. Law enforcement sicked. What's
they suck the dogs.
They sicked the dog on her. Is that the right? Like, what is the
past tense of when they?
Yeah. What would that?
I don't know.
I'm stumped.
They sought. They
sicked
sickled?
it.
They sickled? Sicked. There's no way we're getting that right.
No, we're wrong on all levels there. They deployed a canine unit. Said she had been non-compliant. I don't know. I kind of want to see what happened there. Like, so the canine just jumps into the cab and rips her out of there.
I'm looking up the official past tense, and it is sicked.
It is sicked.
Yeah, sicced or sicked.
They sicked
he
the
sicked
dog on
his dog on
that
me.
Doesn't sound right.
Well, then you can blame AI because that's what AI says it is.
No victims or witnesses injured. Now, if you steal a dump truck, I don't know why you would steal a dump truck, but
because you're on meth or fentanyl,
right? You're not thinking clearly. But if you did steal a dump truck, would you load it up with some crap you got to get to the dump before you,
I think if you're stealing it, your motivation for stealing it is to try to turn it into some money-making endeavor for you. So I think you're less worried about the utility of moving your stuff around and more, where can I take this to flip it?
I hate going to the dump. It's really annoying because the 1-800-GOT-JUNK. Like, I hope they're not a sponsor. Maybe they are.
They might be.
I'm sure they're wonderful. But I find that a little too expensive. But if you don't have a truck and you just got a few things you got to get rid of, it's like, do I want to make a trip over there? And can I get them into my car? It's just annoying. So maybe stealing a dump truck is the answer.
I can't imagine that's a worthwhile plan.
I have concepts of a plan.
In more stolen, I guess, vehicle news? Is a boat a vehicle? Is it
a boat is a vehicle.
It's more of a vessel.
Yeah.
A 42-year-old man from Aberdeen, Washington, is being held on $250,000 bail after he allegedly stole an 80-foot, $8 million commercial fishing boat out of Westport with the crew still on board.
Oh, okay. Were they sleeping and surprised, or did he just kind of Somali pirate this thing?
No, they were docked, and he jumped on, and he convinced them that he was the new captain of the boat.
So he did Somali pirated it. I am the captain now. That's what he did on freaking Captain Phillips.
A subject had boarded the vessel, woke the crew, and advised them that they needed to get underway. The newer crew did not know the captain, but didn't argue, thinking he was an alternate operator or someone sent by the real captain. He surely acted the part as he knew how to start and operate the large vessel.
Wild card, bitches!
After a short while, the crew grew suspicious of his behavior and called the boat's actual captain from the bridge. And after speaking with the captain, they determined that they were on a stolen boat.
Can you imagine being that captain and getting that call? No, I didn't send somebody down there. What do you have my boat? Where?
Well, and how dumb do you think the captain thinks the crew is?
Real
it's
dumb.
Like, you morons.
If I was doing this, don't you think I would have told you? Yeah. A lot of that going on.
Well, they finally figured out something was wrong. The subject driving the boat was talking about meeting the Chinese mothership and was not making sense. He certainly was not describing fishing activities.
China.
So as they were getting out of Grays Harbor and about to cross into the ocean, that's when they knew, oh boy. So the police were called, and he actually turned the boat around and returned it to the harbor. So he had $4,000 cash on him and a large quantity of marijuana.
Nice. Doesn't really seem like a stoner plan, though. It seems like more of an upper kind of a plan.
The windmills are driving the whales crazy.
So we have time for one more story here on In the News today. Which Oregon town made the list of most adorable coastal towns in the world? You know, you were talking about your affinity for the Oregon coast yesterday.
Yeah.
Do you have a guess?
Well, we just recently stayed in Neskowin, and it was really nice. And
Neskowin.
It was really small. It said quaint. What was the descriptor here? Oregon's most what?
Most adorable coastal towns.
Adorable. I was looking for that adjective.
In the world. Oh. Not the word. The world.
Adorable?
Yes. They are calling it adorable. And it is adorable.
Manzanita? Yachts?
No, you're overthinking it. Come on.
Cannon Beach.
Yes.
Okay.
Cannon Beach.
When I heard adorable, I was thinking smaller. So.
Number 3. Well, Cannon Beach is pretty small.
Yeah.
Says Pacific Northwesterners have been vacationing here for decades, but only recently has the Oregon coast been recognized on a larger scale. Cannon Beach is the home to the Insta-famous Haystack Rock, where during the right season you can see numerous bird species. Additionally, the town is known to be super dog-friendly. That is true. We take Molly 2 poops.
Yep. That's a great thing about a lot of Oregon beaches is most of them are pretty dog-friendly.
Number 1 is Sayulita, Mexico. Sayulita. Colorful surfers village on the Pacific Ocean, flanked on the other side by the Sierra Madre Mountains.
Nice.
And then, have you ever been to Australia?
No. I've been to Fiji.
World travels? Byron Bay, Australia is the second. Cannon Beach is actually third on this list.
How about that?
A
lot of treasures here in little old Oregon.
Yeah, Cannon Beach is great. I will hear no...
It's amazing.
Cannon Beach slander.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's it. That's it, bros. You're in the news, February 28, 2025. Coming up next, we've got the Hot 5 at 5. A lot of NFL news today. And then Joey Harrington will join us from a very special place at 5:30 on The Fan.
Time is ticking away. Don't let another minute pass. Plan your retirement now with Trajan Wealth for the future you deserve. Call Trajan today at TrajanWealth.com. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Isaac Robb for Window Nation. Don't miss your chance to save 60% off all window styles and pay nothing for 2 years now through February 28th only from Window Nation. Schedule a free consultation now at 866-90-NATION or windownation.com.
Are you curious about who offers the best deals on top-rated Samsung, LG, and Sony TVs? The answer is surprising. It's not online, and it's not the warehouse clubs. The best deals on top-rated TVs are at Video Only. Don't believe it? Then check out the trade-in deals at Video Only. How about $500 for your old TV? Try doing that online. Before you buy that new TV, drop into Video Only. If you don't, you'll be sorry.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
The home of Primetime with Isaac and Sue. Always live on the Odyssey app is KFXX, KWJJ, HD2 Portland. 1080, The Fan.
You just exposed yourself as a horrible person.
You do your best. An Odyssey sports station. Now, from the Fan Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on 1080 The Fan.
Ryan Buckley with this Sports Center update. First on The Fan, the Blazers back at it again, looking to go 3-0 to start their 7-game road trip. They are currently up 25-18 on the Brooklyn Nets in the first quarter. About 4 minutes to play in that first period. Toumani Camara has 10 points. Shaedon Sharpe in the starting lineup tonight for Jeremy Grant, who is out with injury. Shaedon Sharpe has 11, coming off his career-high 36. Meanwhile, T-Wolves superstar Anthony Edwards has been suspended 1 game by the league for earning his 16th technical of the season on Thursday against the Lakers. He'll miss tonight's game in Salt Lake City against the Jazz. In Philadelphia, 76ers are shutting down Joel Embiid for the remainder of the season due to his knee injury. He finishes the 2024-25 campaign, having appeared in just 19 games. In the NFL, the Rams and Matthew Stafford have restructured his contract, bringing him back to L.A., and reports out of New York indicate the Giants may be potential suitors for former Packers and Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Ryan Buckley, the 1080 The Fan Sports Desk. Listen live or on demand on the Odyssey app, the Fan's desktop player, or tell your smart speaker to play 1080 The Fan.
The Fan Merch Locker has a new black 1080 The Fan hoodie, as well as classic long and short sleeve tees. Get yours now at 1080thefan.com.
Good afternoon. At the tone, Pacific Daylight Time will be...
It's 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock.
One step closer to my own personal hell.
This is Primetime on Sports Radio 1080 The Fan.
We expect the best. We're not afraid to break someone. Do you hear me?
Primetime is your source for the best in local, regional, and national sports.
Go ahead and clap. Mediocrity deserves applause.
Isaac Robb.
I'm miserable. I had to get up at 10 o'clock this morning.
Jason Sakanik.
I'm a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude.
Primetime on 1080 The Fan.
All right, welcome back. We are rocking you on a Friday. It's me, Rob. Big Six right over there.
No, he's not.
He's not. I was just joking.
I thought you were like reading off a... I mean, I don't know, maybe not reading, but I'm like, did you just... Was it like an autopilot type thing where you think you're going to your house and you actually need to be going somewhere else?
I was just joking, dude.
Ahoy!
It's a good bit.
There's Ryan Buckley. Where do you stay in Cannon Beach? Where do you guys like to stay?
Well, we get every now and then here at The Fan.
Oh, yeah.
We sometimes get some trade with the Tolovana Inn,
yeah,
which is wonderful because it's just right there.
Yeah, right on the water there.
But usually we're more like Airbnb type people, so we will try to find something really close for a night or two.
Last time we went, we stayed at Surf Sand.
Okay.
Have you been there yet?
No.
It's a delightful little hotel. And it's got that restaurant right next to it. And the restaurant will deliver, I forget the name of the restaurant, but it will deliver its food to people staying at the Surf Sand. So you can get in-room dining. What do they call it? Room service.
Room service from
that restaurant.
Okay.
And it's right there by Haystack, and the whole thing. Yeah. And they love their dogs. And rooms are nice. Great spot. Yeah. And they do the I think they, I mean, I don't know, not sure, but I feel like they all do the sunset fires for you.
Mm-hmm. Where
they throw out the chairs and they build a fire for you.
Yeah.
Because, God forbid you do that yourself. But they do that. We had a room, last time we were there, we had a room right on the water there. So I just sit up there and drink my wine and look out at the ocean and ponder life,
As one does.
And so I watched the guy have to set up all of the fires because, there's like nobody really kind of wants to sit together. They all want to be in their own little. So he has to make like 20 different fires. It was like a Friday night or something. He has to make like 20 different fires and set out all these chairs for all these people who reserved the sunset fireside, the beachside fire thing.
I mean, he's getting paid for that, right?
Well, I'm sure he is, but boy,
you think he shouldn't have to do as many, or you think people should just have to figure it out
themselves? I feel like they needed more than one guy.
Okay.
I mean, the poor guy.
So you think they're understaffed?
Yeah, and then he had to go around. Some show up early. He's got to light their fire. And then somebody else is like waiting for him. I don't know. Come on, Surf Sand.
Someone says no open container laws in Cannon Beach. I didn't know that. It's never stopped me before, but.
Oh, really? Meaning you can just walk around?
Walk around with a beer, I guess.
I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
God. Cannon Beach just keeps getting better.
But a lot of those towns, like, they just don't enforce that stuff anyways because they don't want to drive people away. It's like,
yeah.
I mean, I'm from Northern California. Nobody ever gets DUIs in Napa Valley because they don't want tourists to, like, I mean, you should.
Oh.
Like, I mean, there are people driving drunk all over the wineries.
I wondered about that. But most people
almost
just
never hear about it happening.
But don't you? People just get the they get the big.
Yeah, people
like
get
the wine tour.
They do, but there's plenty of people who don't. Oh, I'll stay. I'll stop after this many, and no, you don't.
Right. I've never been to Napa. That's another place I've never been.
You would love Napa.
Never.
Valley.
Oh, I know I would. I love wine.
And they have some good golf, and they have some good spas.
Mm. All right, coming up here, Joey Harrington's going to join us. His Friday visit, 5:30, is going to be from somewhere special. Tune in to find out where he is. He is traveling as well. Club tonight. I've got America's all-time favorite movies. Do you think the list is good or bad?
Oh, I mean, I bet it's good. I think with recent, I think America has skewed recently towards bad movies being their favorites, and we used to like good movies, and now we don't. We like things with big explosions and special effects.
Okay.
So I'm optimistic this list will be good, but if it's skewing more towards the present, then maybe not.
And is the latest fashion trend plumber crack?
Quite the image I sent you earlier today.
The answer is yes, it is.
Hot tanned plumber crack.
So we'll get into that in the club. We got some sports coming up, but right now, the Hot 5 at 5.
Hot topics, hot opinions.
Oh, golly, I'm hot today.
And hot air. It's time for the Hot 5 at 5.
That's hot.
The Hot 5 at 5 on Primetime with Isaac and Sue.
No, I mean it. That's very hot.
The Hot 5 at 5 with Isaac and Sue. Brought to you on The Fan by Victorico's Mexican Food. Discover Victorico's new savory menu items. Order in-store, online, or get it delivered straight to your door at victoricos.com.
America, yeah!
Number 5.
Well, your Portland Trailblazers are back at it tonight. They are in New Jersey. Actually, they're in Brooklyn.
They're in Brooklyn.
Taking on the Nets. 33-25 Blazers lead at the end of the first quarter.
Break them up. They're going to win again.
What was the spread on this one?
They were 2.5 point road favorites.
Celtics are hosting the Cavs. Good little matchup.
Was supposed to be, except that the Celtics opened the game on a 25-3 run.
Yeah, and you asked me.
The gap's closing now.
You asked me during the break, you said the Celtics are leading the Cavs 25-3. Is this one of those games where the Celtics win by 50, or is it a one-possession game? And I said one-possession game, and sure enough here, end of the first, it is 32-23.
Yeah, it went from being a 22-point margin to a 12-point margin rather quickly.
Thunder lead the Hawks 40-23 into the first in Atlanta, and the Nuggies are up 62-57 in Detroit on the Pistons. If you care.
Number 4.
Joel Embiid of the Sixers is done for the season. They are shutting him down due to knee issues. We were talking about this earlier, but he could be traded if anybody wants him. Fat salary,
fat injury history,
fat butt,
fat attitude.
Yeah, but he's a hell of a player. No. I mean, if you could get Joel Embiid or Zion Williamson. Now, granted, Zion's going to be cheaper. Which one do you get?
God. Well, one of them hates to work and the other just can't stay healthy. I don't know what's worse.
I'd pay the heftier price for Embiid.
I think I would too.
Given the choice.
I think I would too. He's the better player when healthy for sure, but God, I don't want either part of either one.
No. And he's going to make Joel Embiid is going to make $60 million next year. I want you guys to know that.
Like
$60 million.
Number
God,
3.
These guys make so much damn money. I just now realized that. I'm pissed off
today.
About that. Yeah, just
of
today.
all days.
In between petty beef with Ian Rappaport, Jordan Schultz is reporting 2 teams are most interested in trading for Niners wide receiver Deebo Samuel. Those 2 teams are Washington and Houston.
Okay.
He says talks are progressing already. He also said the Broncos and the Steelers have checked in, but are not quite as serious.
Houston or Washington could be decent spots for him. But
Houston would be great. Well, actually, they'd both be great.
I think they'd both be pretty good for him. I just don't know what those sides are prepared to give up. And boy, his stock took a serious nosedive at the end of last season.
Is he kind of a tough to deal with?
A little bit,
diva in him?
A little bit of diva, and then on top of it, his production just fell off a cliff. So he's like, remember he was out there choking the kicker, and but yet he's leading the league in drops.
HBO Hard Knocks is pivoting to college football this offseason. They will feature Bill Belichick in North Carolina. Now, there are no details yet, but the show will likely follow the hoodie and his team throughout this summer as they prepare for the upcoming season. The reason for this is that apparently HBO couldn't find an NFL team to do the show after the Saquon Barkley controversy with the Giants last year. And that, we talked about that earlier, but that's where they showed Joe Shane calling Shane Barkley, the Giants GM, and saying...
Or Saquon Barkley.
Or what did I say?
Shane Barkley.
What?
Sounds like he's working on your hedge fund.
Shane Barkley. Joe Shane called Shane Barkley. They showed that. Oh my God, he did it again. What is the matter with me?
Good weather getting to everybody.
I'm doing great. Joe Shane called Saquon Barkley and said, you need to shop around and get your value, even though Barkley wanted to be a Giant. That embarrassed the Giants, makes the Giants look terrible. And now teams, because of that, don't want to do HBO Hard Knocks because they don't want their dirty laundry aired like they did with the Giants. So it's going to be Belichick. And number 1, Matthew Stafford will be back with the Rams. The sides agreed to a restructured deal that will keep him in L.A. We don't know the terms yet, although we will in a couple of weeks. We do know that the Raiders and the Giants both offered Stafford more money than the Rams, but he said his best chance to win a Super Bowl is in L.A., and cooler heads prevailed. Things got a little heated with his wife, you know. She was pissed about trading Cooper Kupp.
She's awful.
She is awful. But she's got a big popular podcast, I guess. Where she says a bunch of stuff.
She's the same idiot that came out and said, I wanted to make Matt jealous in college, so I told her I was dating the backup. I told him I was dating the backup quarterback.
Oh, that's right. That's how she got Matt.
Way to go, Ellie.
Do you think they have a good relationship?
I don't know.
Is Matt Stafford stuck?
Is it one of those things that's just convenient for them to kind of keep this thing going?
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Come on!
I don't know. Victory Coast Mexican Food brings you the Hot 5 at 5. 19 locations across Oregon and Washington, now in Lacamas Square in Vancouver. Find a location near you at victorricos.com. When you think of flavor, think of Victor Rico's. Well, we're getting reports that one guy at the Combine has put together one of the best performances of all time.
Really?
We'll get to that.
Okay.
Next on The Fan.
Yeah.
good pizza.
Prime Time with Isaac and Suk on 1080 The Fan.
The Doobies. Yeah, that's definitely good weather music. You know who else I think I would play when the weather is nice? Because we were talking about this at the start of the show. I go straight to Yacht Rock, and I mentioned the Doobies. But I forgot to mention Steely Dan.
Yeah.
Dude,
good one.
Great good weather band. Joey Harrington in 15 minutes or so. Yeah, they're saying that this kid from South Carolina, he is a safety. His name is Nick Emenworry. You ever heard of him?
I can't say that I have.
I mean, either. But apparently he was awesome at South Carolina. And they are saying that his performance last night at the Combine was one of the most athletic performances of all time in the officially recorded Combine era, which began in 1999.
That sounds pretty good.
6'3", 220.
Okay.
Emenworry went bonkers on the field inside Lucas Oil Stadium last night, running a 4.38 in the 40-yard dash.
Okay, that's fast.
A 1.49 second 10-yard split. He had a 43-inch vertical and an 11'6" broad jump. Both of those jumps place him in the 98th percentile at the safety position. There's more. He received a perfect 10 relative athletic score, RAS score, at the strong safety position. That's an algorithm created by a man by the name of Kent Lee Plant that factors in height and weight along with the prospect's workout figures to assign a 1 to 10 score to each prospect in every class. Plant added more context to Emenworry's rare 10.0 in a separate tweet where he said, Nick Emenworry hit 10 at strong safety. He would also hit 10 at free safety and cornerback. He would also hit 10 at wide receiver, though he'd actually be number 2 behind Calvin Johnson. And he'd actually be a 9.99. He hits 9.87 at linebacker with his size, the only thing making him dip there. But even at linebacker, and they are, some teams are saying that if they had him, they would play him at linebacker.
Yeah, try to add some muscle and move him down in the box.
Yeah, well, I think, I picture, and I don't know this, I'm not too familiar with this guy, I just see the pictures of him. I picture like a Kyle Hamilton guy.
Yeah.
Sure. And there is a mock draft on here that has him going to Seattle at number 18.
Could be a really nice fit.
The Seahawks. Yeah, because, McDonald came from Baltimore.
Well, and additionally, Jamal Adams was supposed to be your run-stopping safety for a while, and he was terrible. Like, you don't have a guy who's been doing that for you, I don't think. Your corners have been getting better, but a run-stopping safety or a smaller pass-defending linebacker could be a really great thing for them.
So elite caliber athlete. They're saying that his numbers actually matched his film, because I guess it's not like he sucked at South Carolina. He was really good, and he, because sometimes they say these guys sort of hack the system where maybe they don't have great film from college, but they find the right trainer and gets them ready for specific events in Indianapolis, and it's a little misleading. They are not saying that with this guy. He had 85 tackles as a freshman. That was back in 2022. His tackle total dipped to 71 the next year. He defended 8 passes and snagged 2 interceptions. As a senior, he had 88 tackles, 3 for loss, and 4 picks, 2 of which he returned for touchdowns. They have him, though, as the number 2 safety in the class and number 26 prospect. And 2 mocks. 1, he's going to Seattle at 18, and 1, he's going to the Bills at 30. So keep an eye out for that dude.
Okay.
His name is Nick Emenworry. Strange name. But he had one of the best combine workouts ever. So quarterbacks, I guess they throw tomorrow, maybe? Well, the ones that are throwing, they throw tomorrow.
Yeah. I saw like a grid with the schedules, and I think that's accurate. I don't recall off the top of my head. I mean, it's either today or tomorrow, because I think everyone leaves on Sunday, I think.
Do you have any of these dudes that you think will be really good? I mean, this is a weird class for quarterbacks. I just feel like none of them are.
I don't think there's a sure thing in the class.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think there's one guy that you're like, oh, okay, he's for sure going to be a franchise leader who wins games. And some of them could certainly do it. And I won't be surprised if some of them do. But we don't know what we're getting out of Shadur Sanders. We don't know if Cam Ward is going to be that guy. I don't know if Jackson Dart has the goods to be a franchise quarterback.
Jackson Dart's interesting because I feel like nobody ever talks about him. And he's been really good. And he shows, and I think he has all the physical traits. Big kid, I think. So I don't really know.
I'm curious, what are the knocks on him?
I don't know. I don't know
I'm
what.
sure we could figure that out.
I don't know what the deal is with him. Quinn Ewers, Milrow, Cam Ward, if I had to choose between Shadur Sanders and Cam Ward, I think I might go Cam Ward.
Oh, I think so.
You would?
Yeah.
Well, Ward might be the number one pick.
Yeah.
Was it Tennessee, I think? Maybe?
Yes, that's correct.
Also in there is Will Howard, Ohio State. No idea what they think of him on the next level. Riley Leonard, boy, I don't see that. Although he's big, can move.
I was just trying to look up the negatives on Jackson Dart. So this one draft profile says slower mental processing, reading defenses post-snap. So I guess once the ball gets in his hands, he doesn't adjust as fast as coaches would want him to. Less than ideal anticipatory thrower from the pocket. Mechanics and throwing efficiency declines when pressure is bearing down. And
isn't that everyone?
Ole Miss offense provides isolated QB-friendly reads, not a pro-style system.
Okay. Dylan Gabriel's there.
He sure is.
I know he said something about his height today. Is the height thing, I feel like that is so.
It feels kind of lazy.
Yeah.
Because forever you just weren't allowed to play the position if you weren't tall enough. And then some guys like Breeze and Russ were like, yeah, you can do this. Baker Mayfield. And now, I think obviously being 4 or 5 inches taller certainly gives you an advantage, but doesn't mean that guys who aren't can't play the position. I don't think.
Well, his measurables are not good. Meaning what is he, 5'10"? If that. But I don't know. I could see him landing somewhere. I don't know if any of these guys are right away guys. Tyler Shuck is in there. Ugh. Remember that dude?
I do.
Curtis Rourke, Indiana. He was pretty good this year.
I think he was a guy. Wasn't he playing on like a torn ACL or something? He might be banged up.
Brady Cook from Missouri is an interesting prospect. Really good college player. So, I don't know. Hudson Card. God, wasn't he like a 5-star, like the number 1 prospect?
Yeah, and then
Texas.
Yeah,
he didn't do anything.
That's right.
You never hear about Hudson Card ever, other than that he was transferring. He's like that Penn State kid. Who is it?
Oh yeah.
Well, what's his name?
Drew Aller.
No.
The dude who's there for a while, Trace McSorley.
No, Hackenberg.
Oh, Christian Hackenberg.
That's
there
what I was thinking of. He just really never did anything in college, but for some reason was some big NFL prospect.
They loved him.
Yeah. So it's the Titan. What is the draft order?
It is the Titans 1, and
then the Browns, I think.
Yeah, I think the Browns have a top 3. Didn't the Giants, by screwing up, beating a team they shouldn't have beat, they moved from potentially top pick to 4? I think the Giants have the 4th pick.
So we could get a quarterback run right there at the top, right?
For sure.
The Titans need a quarterback. They probably need a receiver. The Browns need a quarterback. Probably going to lose Myles Garrett. Big stud edge rusher in there. Maybe offensive line. Yeah, the Giants are 3rd. Also a quarterback. New England, probably the first team that wouldn't take a quarterback. They're 4th.
They're set with May.
And then Jacksonville is 5. They also would. And then the Raiders, who would too.
Yeah.
So we could, even though none of these guys are projected to be that great, we could get a heavy.
Shadur in Vegas just sounds like it makes a lot of sense.
He just looks like a Vegas
That's what
Raider.
I'm saying. Him and his dad.
All that bling. Flashy.
And then when Pete Carroll's ready to hang it up in 3 years, Pops can take over the franchise.
Yeah. I wonder if Prime does want to coach Shadur in the NFL.
I don't know. He's such an interesting case to me because I didn't think he was going to want to be the guy that has to like grind to run a college program. I thought
I know
figurehead, great soundbite, good face of it all, but like I don't know if he's really going to do this. He's kind of done this, but I have no idea how that desire translates to the pro game or if it does. Or if he's cut out for it. I don't know.
He said that he doesn't want to coach in the NFL because he thinks the players are prima donnas. See, college kids, you can control them. They'll do what you say. NFL, I just think a guy like Dion looks around a locker room and it's like, these guys aren't built like me, and that pisses him off.
I think so. That's definitely possible.
Or they don't do the things I did, or they don't listen to,
But the other thing is in college, you can use like the money and your experience and all your talking points to help bring in the best talent. In the NFL, it's like 32 other cutthroat teams that are figuring out just as well as you how to like make their rosters work. And like, I don't know if he's that guy.
Hey, I just turned on the Dodgers game. That Dustin May guy is back.
Yeah, after his
Did you hear what happened to him?
I don't know if I sent you the story or if I just saw it when I was gone, but yeah, he nearly died because of a piece of lettuce in his esophagus.
Yes.
I mean, that would go down. This was when I was down in Southern California because I was thinking about you guys and like where that would rank on the all-time baseball or sports injury list. I mean, we have the weird ones of like, Glenn Allen Hill jumped through a table when he was having a nightmare about spiders and someone threw their back out sneezing, and Clint Barmes broke his collarbone carrying deer meat up the stairs, and like there's a bunch of stuff like that. But nearly died because a piece of lettuce tore your esophagus.
Isn't that wild?
What kind of lettuce are you eating, bro? How weak is that esophagus of yours?
So weird. So Dustin May is a pitcher for the Dodgers. He's the redhead kid.
Yeah,
and
unmistakable.
He was rehabbing from I think it was shoulder injury or something. He was out with an injury. He was rehabbing, and he was out to dinner with his wife, and they had to rush him to surgery because a piece of salad got stuck in his throat, and it slit his esophagus. He almost died.
What kind of lettuce are you eating? Does it have razor blades in it? Like, seriously, a piece of lettuce, it wilts. It goes limp. It's like...
Well, but it's probably one of those, like the Caesar, like the ends of this...
Like a little chunk of rope. But those things aren't sharp.
I know.
The hell were you doing?
Well, it makes you wonder how, how close you've come to cutting your esophagus with some foods you're shoving down your gullet.
One of my good friends had an esophageal tear in college, but we think that was related to drinking.
Oh, dear. Well, Dustin May's back. Good to see. He's pitching for the Dodgers tonight.
I saw him get very emotional the other day after his spring debut.
Well, I bet. He almost died, man.
Because you couldn't swallow a piece of lettuce. It's the weirdest thing.
It is weird. Yeah, I don't know. We got to go. Joey Harrington's coming up next. You know him. Played quarterback for the Ducks, the Lions. He is coming to us from a very special place. I've yet to reveal where he will be calling in from, but you will find out next. Here's Buck.
Now, from the Fan Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on 1080 The Fan.
Ryan Buckley with this Sports Center update. First on The Fan, the Blazers are back in action. Third game of their 7-game road trip. They're looking to win their third straight on the road trip, and they have a 55-41 lead with 3 minutes to go in the first half. Shaden Sharp leading the way again with 17 points. He's coming off a career-high 36. He's 7 of 8 from the field tonight. Meanwhile, T-Wolves superstar Anthony Edwards suspended for tonight's game against the Jazz after he earned his 16th technical foul of the season Thursday against the Lakers. In Philadelphia, the Sixers are shutting down Joel Embiid for the remainder of the season due to his knee injury. He finishes the campaign having appeared in just 19 games. And in the NFL, the Rams and Matthew Stafford have restructured his deal to bring him back to L.A. Reports out of New York indicate that the Giants may be potential suitors for former Packers and Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Ryan Buckley from 1080 The Fan Sports Desk. Listen live or on demand on the Odyssey app, the Fan's desktop player, or tell your smart speaker to play 1080 The Fan.
The Hot Corner, now in its new time. Tuesdays at 7 after Isaac and Sue on Portland's sports leader, 1080 The Fan. It's time for Who's Leading the Charge. A look under the hood at the coaches, players, and teams getting it done. Brought to you by Battery Exchange.
Sharp outside. He'll raise. Shaden Sharp with a triple. Another one down the hatch for Shaden.
Shaden Sharp, we talk about that at peace with your game feeling. Well, your teammates, they know that.
What's gotten into Shaden Sharp all of a sudden?
Dude, he rolled out of that 36-point career high and just kept going.
Yeah, he started 6 for 6 tonight.
Yeah, still 7 of 8 from the field, 17 points. He's in the starting lineup for Jeremy Grant, who's out with an injury.
No way. Well, that's nice.
Smoking the Brooklyn Nets, winning another one.
What's the score?
55-41, careening towards that number 12 overall pick.
Who's leading the charge, powered by Battery Exchange. Mention code BXT10 at checkout for 10% off your entire purchase this month. Online at batteryexchange.com.
I am at the, although, I'm pretty sure he would rather be here in beautiful Indianapolis in February.
Mm-hmm.
Who really wants to sit outside and watch baseball and drink beer and play golf? What you would rather be doing is probably walking the maze of connected sky bridges and tunnels that unite every building in downtown Indianapolis with Lucas Oil Stadium.
Yeah, and watch guys run around in their underwear. What could be better?
Yep, the Underwear Olympics.
Yes, sir. So how did this come about?
Honestly, yeah, you're right. It's been 15 years since I've really talked to anybody in the league, and I just got a call out of the blue last week asking if I wanted to come out and be a mentor for this year's group of quarterbacks. And it's something they started doing maybe about, I want to say 8 years ago, where they have guys that have obviously, played in the league and been through this process, just be around and be a resource. And I mean, it's pretty much just hanging around all day is the job description. In the contract or the paperwork they sent over, they said you need to go to meals and share your phone number and talk with the players. I was like, I think I'm qualified to do that. I could probably fit that job description.
Yeah, sounds fun. So who?
Yeah, no, it's great. I've got there's 15 quarterbacks at the combine this year, so I have the first half of the alphabet. The guys that you'd probably notice or recognize. Will Howard, Quinn Ewers, Jackson Dart, and our favorite Oregon Duck, Dylan Gabriel. So yeah, it's a really interesting, a really good group of guys.
What is
your advice to them? Like, are you talking to each of them individually? Are you holding awesome Joey Harrington group sessions? Like, how does it work?
Honestly, I'm heading to a group session here. As soon as we get off the phone, but it's tough because I don't want to be like Suk says, the old guy yelling at the clouds. But at the same time, I've got a lot of experience. I've got a lot of in the field. Hey, this is what you can expect, and I think, as I've shown with you guys, I'm more than happy to share those experiences. Now, whether or not they choose to take advantage of it, whether or not it's something that fits into their plan for the combine, right? Because in the end, this is about them, right? I'm here to be a resource for them, and if they say, "Hey, I'm just here to focus and I don't want to talk to anybody, and I'm gonna run and I'm gonna throw and I'm gonna jump and I'm gonna do that stuff," great. That's what works for them. I can be here for you down the road if you want to give me a shout. Some guys have just kind of pulled up a chair during meals. And we'll see who shows up here. And I just kind of shot the group a text, and I was like, "Hey, I'm just gonna post up there for an hour or two, and if you wanna come by and just check in, cool. If you don't, if you have your own prep going on, that's fine too." So it's pretty informal, and more than anything, just kind of being a resource in any way that works for them. That's the key.
Yeah, I think that's cool that the NFL did that. Just out of curiosity, before I dig into what they're asking and all that, who's the other quarterback that gets the other half of the team, or of the quarterbacks that are there?
Chad Pennington has the other half.
So
he's got guys like Riley Leonard, Shedeur Sanders, Cam Ward. He's got the back half of the alphabet. Yeah. So yeah, just going straight with the old guys here. The old 2000 was he the 2001 draft, 2000 draft? He was part of that. I didn't realize that Jets team had 4 first-round draft picks his year, which probably explains where they're pretty good.
Really? He also beat Suk in a bowl game, I think, at Marshall. I think.
Oh.
Yeah. Fun Chad Pennington.
Why isn't Suk here? He could lend some lend some experience.
Well, what are they asking you? Okay, so when these guys, Jackson Dart, Dylan, whoever it is, when they nestle up to you, what are their concerns? What are their questions?
It's. I'm trying to think of how best to, because it's tough if you are, let's say you don't know what you don't know, right? So it's less direct questions and more just kind of. I can kind of understand what they're trying to get at, and the stuff I've been sharing is. In the NFL, somebody is always watching, always, whether it's film, game film is the biggest thing, right? Not only is everybody in your organization watching your game and your practice film, but everybody in the league. If you get into a preseason game, if you get into a regular season game, everybody in the league is going to see that. Everybody is going to be consistently grading you as long as you are on an NFL field. But more than that, people are watching what you do here. Right? People are watching how you interact with staff. People are watching how you talk to the media, right? This is, I think, one of the biggest things or the biggest mistakes that I made is I felt like I had to fit into this box. Felt like I had to be a certain way for different groups of people. And a lot of times I kind of came across as a robot, right? Mm-hmm. The guys, Max, from Minnesota, Will, from Ohio State, today they had their podium sessions with the media, and they were just relaxed. They were, they had conversations, right? That's the biggest thing is not being afraid to be yourself. Right? Don't try and be somebody else. Just be respectful, work hard, and be yourself, because, like I said, somebody is always watching and evaluating you.
Max Brosmer, Minnesota
Max
kid.
Brosmer. Mm-hmm.
So can you tell, you're talking to these guys. Can you tell if a kid has what it takes just by talking to him? I mean, assuming that the physical traits are all there.
I'm going to say no, but answer it and say that you can usually tell when a kid doesn't have it. Right? Yeah. That's the difference is the guys that and you know what, when I say you can tell the guys who don't have it, I sometimes it's the guys who are extremely talented who think they don't need anybody's help.
Right.
Now, they may make it in the league for a while, but if they continue that course, they're going to end up burning bridges and they're going to see their way out. Right? One of the things that I've been trying to share, and it's not just with the quarterbacks. I was sitting with Cam Scadaboo and Trevor Etienne 2 nights ago, and trying to impress on them that if you can make an impression with a coach, if you can make an impression with, I mean, it could be like a quality control guy, right? That you can build yourself a career. You don't have to be, if you don't burn a bridge, if you don't come in thinking that you are, you're God's gift, what you can do is you can build relationships, right? So Adam Gase, who ended up being the head coach for the Jets and the Broncos, he was a quality control guy with us in Detroit, right? So, showing those guys that are, I don't want to say lower level guys in the building, but building relationships, they go somewhere else and they say, you know what, I'd love to have Joey be my backup quarterback, or I'd love to have Cam be hey, we're looking for a special teams running back and, someone who could also do this. Hey, I know that Trevor can do that because I was with him in Arizona, bring him in. Right. You can, if you don't build a bridge and instead foster a relationship and show people what you're willing to do, you can extend your career by years, because this league is, and for lack of a better word, incestuous, right? These coaching, we talk about coaching trees, the Bill Walsh tree or or Bill Parcells tree. Well, all they're saying is that all those guys who work together, they end up hiring their friends down the road. Right. So if they leave and go somewhere else and you've built a relationship with that coach, instead of burning a bridge, then you stand a pretty good chance of getting a job wherever they go.
Good advice. Look at you. What were your impressions of Cam Scadaboo?
That dude's a football player.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit of crazy in him, and it's a good crazy, right? Like, you got to have a couple guys like that in the locker room, but there was an intensity. There was, and I'll call it a joy, right? Like, some guys, just love playing football. And some guys do it because they're good at it. Some guys do it because they just love it. And Cam seemed like one of those guys. He just, no matter what topic we were talking about, it was just like he was just eating it up, and he was participating, and he was like, you could tell that this was something that he was passionate about. And like I said, if you're going to take a guy if I've got 2 guys, one guy is, I have graded at 9.4 out of 10, and I have somebody who's graded at 9.2 out of 10, but he is passionate and is an incredibly hard worker, I'll tell you who I'm going to take every single time, right? Mm-hmm. So he seems like the type of guy who, even if I would say, he'll just find a place on a team. And he'll find a place for a long time.
This is Joey Harrington, Story Time. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, so many questions. Like, maybe who's been most impressive to you from the quarterbacks that you're working with. We will get to that. I do want to ask you about Dylan Gabriel and his chances in the NFL as well. We'll do that next. More with Joey Harrington, courtesy of Mods PDX on The Fan.
It's time for a Ducks Report, the inside story on Oregon athletics. Brought to you by Mods PDX. The future of building is here.
So potentially significant news for the Oregon Ducks here. If you recall, last season towards the end of the year, the Ducks lost Nate Biddle for like the whole back half of the year due to injury and illness. He's been granted another year of eligibility, and there's a chance he comes back to the Ducks next year.
No kidding.
Yeah. He and the school went to the NCAA to petition for it, and they got it.
Amazing.
They host USC this weekend.
USC and then what? Indiana? And then Washington.
Yeah, I know they have 2 more after USC.
I think Washington. Mott's PDX, the future of building, is here.
If you're considering new construction and want it done right and
right? They're not talking about taking 5 guys in the top 10 picks. This is going to be a draft where you get a couple guys a little bit later who may have an opportunity to sit, who may have an opportunity to learn, who may, get their feet under them and then step into a position, which I personally think is the best way to go if you can do it. So I absolutely think Dylan is going to have an opportunity, not just because he's going to go to a place that wants to fit him in, but he's likely also going to go to a place where he's not going to be asked to play right away.
Who's been most impressive to you thus far?
How so? Because they actually don't throw until tomorrow, so I haven't seen them throw.
Yeah, no,
on the field.
I mean, I'm not even. I think we know the physical attributes of all these guys. I'm talking about like you're getting a real exclusive inside, look into their demeanor, their mind, all that stuff. I think that's more interesting. The interesting part of it, because you know how big that is for the quarterback position. So, does anybody stand out in terms of the guys that you're working with in that regard?
I'm really curious to see what Jackson Dart does.
Yeah,
I think that's the one that I really want to see where he lands, because part of what was inevitably my downfall in the NFL was a lack of confidence, and like I said, trying to be somebody that I wasn't. Everywhere I've seen Jackson Dart, dude's been himself. And it's not always like super serious. There's a fun to it, but it's engaging. And he's not trying to put on a show. He's not trying to impress people. He's just being him. And I think that's the type of personality that can rally guys in the locker room, right? That's the type of guy that, can make connections with players from different backgrounds and different parts of the country and different, he seems like the type of guy who could be a unifier in the locker room, which, like we all know, you get a locker room on the same page and you can win some football games in the NFL. So I'm really curious to see where Jackson Dart ends up.
Yeah, I was thinking about him. He was actually the one that was top of mind when I asked you that question, because you just don't hear a lot about him, and he was awesome in college. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of a weird one. I don't know if there are physical attributes that are holding him back, but he just seems like the whole package, but he's never talked about.
I think part of it is you have your guys who were, I don't want to say what's the word I'm looking for? Your camera forward, your Oregon, Ohio State, Texas, right? Those are the programs that are going to lead the highlight film. And this is something that I learned. Mississippi, Ole Miss, runs a very different style of offense, and a style of offense that doesn't necessarily lend itself well to what the NFL is doing. It's an interesting way they go about playing, and I still don't. I've been out for a while, so it was a quick conversation. I didn't quite fully understand, but there is going to be a learning curve for him. So in terms of I would venture to guess that is part of why you don't see him, talked about in the top 10 picks, is because there is going to be a little bit of a learning transition for him going from the offense at Ole Miss into an NFL style offense.
Is there anybody, as you talk to different people, not just the quarterbacks, but you're at the combine, nose ears to the ground rather, is there anybody getting a lot of buzz that people are already talking about, whether it's a quarterback or not?
There's a DB from Kentucky today. What was his name?
Let me see if I can look it up.
Maxwell? The corner.
Stand by. Yeah, Maxwell Harrington.
Maxwell Harrington.
Yeah.
Yep. That was a name today.
Okay.
That was a name today that came up quite a bit. You know who guys have really liked are the D tackles from Oregon.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. They've really impressed some people this weekend. You know, and that's the thing too, is a lot of guys, and you know, part of why we're here, part of why they bring us in, and the NFL started bringing mentors in, is to help remind players that this is a job interview, right? And not running or not throwing, not participating sends a message. And even if it doesn't go great, right? So we're talking about the guys that, that may have stood out. Let's say it doesn't go great, and you don't do the things that you want to do. You've still got an opportunity to prove on your pro day that you can do it, right? The NFL is very big in hard work and redemption, right? So even if you come out of this with a, less than glowing performance, coming back and redeeming yourself in a pro day is something that a lot of people would also view as a success. So yeah, that's been an interesting thing to hear too, is how they put not just relying on the combine specifically, but just how you putting the two of those together.
What are your impressions of Will Howard?
I didn't want to like him. I was like, I introduced myself and told him that he ruined my year. But, other than that, he's a great kid. I mean, he really is. He reminds me a little bit of myself in that he's just kind of a dork. Right? He's just a regular guy. He's not, if you looked at him, I'm not sure you'd say that he's a national championship winning quarterback, right? He's just kind of got a kindness and an approachability, which I think is pretty unique, for a lot of guys in the NFL. But I mean, what a fantastic guy. And frankly, for somebody his size to be able to move the way that he does, I think that's also going to be a big plus for him.
So you said you're going to a group session here when we hang up. Are you giving a talk? Are you just going to open it to questions, or what's the message?
The message? Honestly, I don't know. The message is just going to be kind of determined by them. And frankly, I'm not making, it's not like it's some mandatory thing. I literally just sent them, the guys a text, and I was, hey, I'm going to be posted up for, about an hour and a half, 2 hours. They have informal meetings with the teams this evening at 8:00. Mm-hmm. And, I said, hey, for an hour or two at dinner before, I'll just be there. I'll make sure and just kind of stay around. So if you want to come and, have a meal, if you want to come and just talk about nothing, if you want to come and ask questions, I'm just a resource to them. So I don't have an agenda. Like I said, my job is not to force feed my experience. My job is to use my experience to answer the questions that they have and provide the best advice that I can for their situation.
Is there a guy that's maybe lesser known that you've worked with out there or talked to that people should know about, or that has impressed you?
Like I said, I just call him Max from Minnesota. The way he handled himself in front of the media. The other thing too is, like I said, everybody's watching, right? Max came back after the media session, pops down on the couch right with the offensive lineman, and just starts talking. Right? A lot of guys come back and go straight to their phone. A lot of guys come back and just go straight into their own headphones and into their own world. Max was engaging. Max was, again, like I said, those type of things that can bring a locker room together. I like how he handled himself in the downtime situations, which you're going to find yourself in a lot of times in the locker room.
Yeah, like you said, somebody's always watching. You're watching those things. Max Brosmer, I'd never even really heard of him. I don't think I've ever seen him play, but I'll keep an eye on him. Thanks to Joey Harrington.
There you go.
Well, have a great rest of the trip out there in Indy. Stay away from petty media fights at the Starbucks in the hotel.
I heard about that. I'll go to St. Elmo's and bring you back a steak. How about that?
Please do. Enjoy it. Thank you. Good info, and we'll talk to you next week.
Yeah, you bet.
All right, that's Joey Harrington, courtesy of Mods PDX. The future of building is here. Movie Talk kicks off the club next on The Fan.
Welcome to TGL, presented by SoFi, golf's newest league.
An Odyssey Sports Station. Now, from the Fan Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on 1080 The Fan.
Brought to you by 808 Hawaiian Restaurant. Mixed plates like Grandma used to make if your grandma were from the Big Island. Woodstock, Burnside, Beaverton, or online, ate-oh-ate.com. First on The Fan. On the hardwood, the Blazers back in action tonight. It's Game 3 of their 7-game road trip. They are in Brooklyn taking on the Nets, and they're having their way so far. It is 73-60 in favor of Portland. About 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. Shaedon Sharpe picking up where he left off after his career-high 36-point performance in the last game. He's got 17 tonight on 7 of 9 shooting. Also has 4 assists. He got 15 points from Toumani Camara and another dozen from Ant Simons. T-Wolves superstar Anthony Edwards has been suspended 1 game by the league for earning his 16th technical foul of the season in Thursday night's loss to the Lakers. He will miss this evening's game against the Jazz in Salt Lake City. In Philadelphia, the Sixers shutting down Joel Embiid for the rest of the season due to his knee injury. He finishes the year having appeared in only 19 games. And in the NFL, the Rams and Matthew Stafford have ended the speculation on him moving to another franchise as the two sides have come to terms on restructuring a deal that will bring him back to L.A., and reports out of New York indicate that the Giants may be potential suitors for former Packers and Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Ryan Buckley from 1080 The Fan Sports Desk. Listen live or on demand on the Odyssey app, the Fan's desktop player, or tell your smart speaker to play 1080 The Fan.
Aaron Rodgers is a little bitch.
Do it every morning. Dirt and Spray. Weekdays 6 to 9 a.m. on Portland's sports leader, 1080 The Fan. The following show may contain adult themes not suitable for children.
Shut the hell up.
Club 1080 with Isaac and Souk.
It does go well with a chicken.
I didn't know hanging out with you was making me smarter. Full disclosure, Morty, it's not. Temporary superintelligence is just a side effect of the mega seeds dissolving in your rectal cavity. Oh, man. Yeah. And once those seeds wear off, you're going to lose most of your motor skills, and you're also going to lose a significant amount of brain functionality for 72 hours, Morty. Starting right about now.
Club 1080 with Isaac and Souk is brought to you by Pub Beer, the official beer of cheap fun.
We will love Breeders, how about that?
It's quite a many days. I think it's a Himalayan snowcock.
He's a beta feta.
I do know that.
The era has become.
I got something's on. He did it early. He did a lot of it. It's insane. Why are you going there? Germany's a great city.
What is the freaking Texans doing?
I did it earlier. Yeah, you pretty are. I feel like a total idiot. Head coach?
Oh, my God. What?
Yeah.
What is the Colorado Rockies?
Well, hello there. Nice to have you along, Friday Club. What's up? What are you guys doing?
Chilling.
Hopefully you played golf today.
Hopefully you enjoyed the sun. However that
Did
happened
you?
for you. Yeah. I told you I walked the
you
dog. I
played
shot
ball.
hoops. Yeah.
Recreating Steph Curry out there in your driveway.
That's right.
You look just like him.
I know. I mean, I made 9 of 10 free throws at one point.
Hey, before we get to hot movie talk, I've got America's all-time favorite movies.
Yeah, I'm excited for this.
But first, I wanted to give you the latest on Gene Hackman.
Oh, yes.
Talked about this yesterday. You know, he is dead.
Under bizarre circumstances.
It is quite weird. Nobody knows really what happened. Quick recap is that he was dead in the mudroom. His wife was dead in the bathroom with a bunch of pills strewn about. And a dog was dead in the closet. A door was open. 2 other dogs were alive. One was with the wife and another was running around outside. No foul play. No signs of foul play. No blunt force trauma or anything.
Although, like,
carbon monoxide was not deemed an issue.
When and where do you think they determine what a sign of foul play is? Because when you talk about those circumstances, I think you could argue there might be signs of foul play. Like, I mean, are you just saying there's not evidence of another human being there? Is that what, not you,
I think
but what they are saying?
That, and maybe there's no evidence that they've been
attacked,
like
or
beaten. Yeah. You know, okay. that kind of thing. But they say now that he was dead on February 17th. So they believe that he was laying there for a week and a half before they found him.
I do remember seeing in one of the initial reports that, like, someone doing maintenance on the house or whoever saw him through a window and was like, oh, it looks like he's been dead for a while.
Yeah, and they said signs of decay. Yeah. She also had signs of decay. She may have died around that same time, although I haven't seen the report on her yet.
It seems like most likely that they would have died around the same time.
You know, my buddy I was eating with last night had a theory, and he said, because we were spitballing on this, he said, well, what if the dog tripped the old man? And the dog trips the old man. You know, dogs, he just tripped over the dog or whatever, and he dies. She throws the dog in the closet and then can't handle the death and takes a bunch of pills and dies. What do you think about that?
I mean, I could see him tripping over the dog, but then, like, it's hard for me to it's hard for me to see the dog owner then like shutting the dog in the closet and then that same owner then going and killing themselves. Like I don't know. I mean, it's like we established yesterday, it's hard to come up with a series of events that really makes a lot of sense. So I guess that could make some sense, but I don't know. That feels like a stretch.
We'll keep you posted.
There will be a primetime follow-up.
Yeah, toxicology in a couple weeks. All right, well, now that it's 6:12, let's stay on track. Let's take a break.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Very mature of you, Isaac.
Thank you. Well, I'm known for my maturity.
Naturally.
Well, it's a new survey. It was conducted just recently from Talker Research, and they have America's favorite movies. And we have America's favorite movies by generation, which I also find interesting.
Okay.
We'll get to that coming up next on The Fan.
Backed by popular demand.
You're playing golf and you're going to like it.
Cheap fun.
Double sun power!
Night. Well, you know me, I'm not a huge movie guy, but I do find this interesting.
I used to be a huge movie guy and no longer.
You're a show guy.
I am a show guy.
Me too.
I mean, shows are kind of the new movies.
Yep, I agree. Way better.
Well, the ones with really good stories to tell often take longer than 90 minutes, which is why you get 6 or 8 or 13 episodes of something. And I don't know. It's like we've evolved.
Yeah, we're getting better.
Although movies, I guess, have maybe devolved. They're kind of crappy now.
I think they almost always disappoint movies. So this is from Talker Research. They surveyed 2,000 general population Americans, 1,000 men, 1,000 women. The survey was administered and conducted online between Friday, January 31st and Monday, February 3rd, 2025. And they are simply asking Americans their favorite movies. So I have the top 5, 6, 7, 8, 20. I have the top 20, but I don't care about 20 through 6. I'm going to give you the top 5.
Okay.
You have any guesses?
All time?
Yep.
This is favorite.
All time. America's all-time favorite movies.
Is Star Wars on the list?
Star Wars. There is a they have Star Wars series. So
the original Star Wars trilogy?
They're doing it by series. So yeah, like Fast and the Furious is a series, Home Alone is a series, John Wick is a series.
Okay.
Star Wars is on the list, but it is not in the top 5.
Okay. Thought some of the nerd popularity there might make a difference. I know one of the... I mean, it's not going to be like Citizen Kane or something like that, I wouldn't think. But one of the highest or most popular on IMDb is E.T. Is E.T. on the list?
E.T. is not your father. Okay, number 5.
Do you have any hints?
Okay. Well, I will say that of the top 5, you've got... They're all, I guess, technically classics.
Or any of them franchises, like there's more than one, like the Fast or the Star Wars or whatever.
No. Maybe one, but I don't know because I'm not a...
Okay.
But, I don't know. I mean, not really. Is that a good answer?
Sure.
Not really? One stars Patrick Swayze. One is old, like 50s.
Okay, so hold on. This is loved or popular? Well, here, give me the adjective again.
Favorite.
Dirty Dancing.
That is a good guess. You are correct. Number 5.
Okay.
Dirty Dancing is a top 5 movie for Americans.
There's your Swayze one.
All time. Number 4. Oops, where'd it go? You
said one was older.
Yeah, one is from I said 50s. I think it's maybe the 40s.
Casablanca.
Nope. Think more along the lines of Good for All.
Oh,
like everybody.
It's a Wonderful Life?
No.
Good for All.
Come on.
It's like the Seven Samurai or something
It is
like that?
probably the most talked about movie.
Titanic?
For all ages. Okay, Titanic is 3.
Okay.
Titanic is on the list. So you're missing 2.
Wizard of Oz.
There you go. Wizard of Oz is number 2.
Okay.
So you have 2 movies left. I'll give you number 4. It's The Lion King, and that's what made me pause. Is that a franchise?
Oh, no,
Or
I wouldn't
series?
consider that. No, I mean, there have been different versions, but it's not like there's The Lion King. I mean, I guess there's The Lion King 2 and 3, but really that's a standalone.
So what do you think is number 1?
Boy.
17% of respondents said this movie.
Favorite. I'm trying,
it is fairly it's within the last 25 years.
Okay. So this millennium, right?
Oh, sorry. It is 30. It's been within the last 35 years.
Okay. I'm going to say, is it something like...
Time flies. It's...
something like Forrest Gump.
You got it.
Did I really?
That's it? Dude, it's Forrest freaking Gump.
Well, I figured it had to be earlier than 2000 by about 10 years, and I'm like, who was everyone's favorite actor around then? It was Tom Hanks.
I'm sorry. I think Forrest Gump is so overrated. I don't get it.
I get it. I think it's really unique. It's a different way of telling a story. Like, I don't think it's the best movie, but I get why people think it's a fun watch. It's a way of intertwining fiction with history, and he did all these zany things, and I get why people like it, but doesn't mean that it's amazing.
Also on the list, The Godfather.
Overrated.
Really?
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
I mean, I've seen it multiple times. I get that it was the inspiration for a lot of things. I get that you get the kind of original mafia thing going on. I just I don't know. It's well done and all that, and it's well acted, but I just don't think it's amazing. I'm never like, oh, I need to fire up The Godfather. Does anybody say that?
I've done that.
Really?
Yeah, and that's one of the few times that, like, I never say you'd fire up a movie, but
yeah.
every
I mean,
once in a while,
I would fire up a different mob movie first. I might watch The Departed before I watched Godfather.
By the way, Wizard of Oz, 1939, apparently.
Yeah.
We have Back to the Future on the list.
Yeah.
Die Hard.
Okay. Is Top Gun anywhere on the list?
Rocky. Yes, Top Gun is on the list. Number 19. We have Rocky, Ghostbusters.
Okay.
Rush Hour.
See, I think you can tell from this list, like, the height of cinema was, like, late 80s, early 90s-ish. I mean, I know there's some older ones on there, but, like, the ones that you're essentially lining up and knocking down right now, they're all in that era.
Indiana Jones series is on here. Harry Potter series. So what about by generation? So Gen Zers, top 3 movies. And that's like the youngs, right?
Yeah.
You ought to get this, I think.
Well, I never know where to draw the line. Because, I mean, I like, is Titanic in the purview of...
No. Much more recent.
Trying to think of what's been, like...
Very popular, but I don't think I've ever even seen it, and it's animated.
Frozen.
Toy Story.
Toy Story, okay. Yeah.
Millennials, top movie, Lion King.
But those things came out at... Okay.
Gen X, top movie, that's my generation. That's where you get Forrest Gump.
Okay.
And Rocky. And Star Wars. And then the baby boomers are the ones that chose Dirty Dancing.
Interesting.
The olds.
Well,
also,
who
Wizard of Oz.
I was going to say, who chose Wizard of Oz?
Yeah, that's the boomers. If you're going to have a movie night at your house, you know, like the world is coming over to your house, and you have to show one movie, what are you showing?
Oh. Well, that's a way different question. So I'm trying to pick out, like, the best crowd pleaser for everyone coming over, or I'm picking a movie that I just want to watch the most because I think it's the best.
I think it's all of the above. Like, what considerations go into what to show?
Okay, so we've actually talked about having a backyard movie night in the summer, where, like, putting, like, a sheet over the side of the house and, like, a projector screen.
There you go.
And
what's gonna play?
We think that it would be really fun to play The Sandlot on that.
That's
It's like
good.
appealing to all. It's kind of funny. It's family friendly.
Right.
Baseball nostalgia. So that would be like on a group viewing fire up. Yeah.
You wouldn't play Thighs Wide Open?
Thighs Wide Open. I can't say I'm familiar with that one. Debbie Does Dallas.
I'm being an ass.
What are you firing
Ryan's
up?
Privates. Probably. I've thought about the question
for a group or I mean, I guess if you're just.
I think here's my take on this. It is that I think you got to have a movie that keeps people's attention.
Okay.
Right? Because you're probably all drinking.
Yep.
And you always get, if you get some lulls in the film, you're going to get people wandering away and starting a conversation.
Talking,
and
yes.
Yeah. I think you need to grip people and grab people and do something cool like that. And I'm going Inglourious Bastards on your ass.
Oh, interesting.
I absolutely love that movie.
I love that film. I think there are too many lulls. That movie is long.
It is long.
But
it's
even
gripping.
though he's amazing, some of those Christoph Waltz scenes take forever.
But it's gripping.
It's great. It's great cinema though. It's really good.
That's what I'm playing.
Okay. All right.
That and White Men Can't Hump.
I'd throw on White Men Can't Jump. I love that movie.
Yeah, I don't know if that holds up.
Probably not.
You know what they said on this survey? What do you think is the number of times the average person has watched their favorite movie?
Oh, that's tough.
Because this is where I am in such a minority.
Yeah,
I've said this before. Suk, he's a big movie guy, and he's like, well, do you listen to music over and over and over? Of course.
Yeah.
And so he says it's the same for movies. It is not for me. If I see a movie once, I don't know why I watch it again.
So I think that technology and how we consume it has changed how much I watch movies. Back when everybody had cable and you just flipped through channels, I would frequently settle on movies that I'd seen before, liked, and were airing on TV. TNT, TBS, HBO, one of the other movie channels. But now that with everything streaming and like you pick it out, I'm never scrolling through that stuff anymore. So I am not firing up something that I've seen, even if it's good. Like I agree. Looking for something new for the most part. So I used to rewatch a ton of stuff. I would say, like, especially as a kid, like Happy Gilmore is probably the movie that I've watched more than any other. I mean, it was right at the peak of Sandler. I was a teenager, like all of that. I've probably seen that movie 30 or 40 times.
Oh, okay.
But I don't, but recently, with like a new favorite, like I would say just overall top favorite film, Shawshank Redemption for me. And I don't think I've seen it more than 5 times.
That's a great movie. I think I've seen that twice.
And it used to be the type of movie that when AMC or whoever was like playing it on a Sunday afternoon when I was folding laundry, sure, I'll watch the last half of it. I'll just pick it up in the middle. But that kind of stuff doesn't really happen anymore with all the streaming services.
Well, the average American believes that they have watched their favorite movie 38 times.
Oh, so right there.
Kind of like you.
Okay.
The generation that watches movies the most, or their favorite movie the most, is millennials. They're at 50.
Yeah, they're big on the repetition.
I just think that's so, I don't know, that does not jive with me. Why would I watch it? I've already seen it.
Yeah.
Why am I watching it again?
And I'll even, with shows I really like, I'll go back and give some of them a rewatch, but I need enough time to pass.
Shows?
Where it feels new.
Like Breaking Bad or whatever? Or Sopranos, or
I did try to give Sopranos a rewatch, and I'd already seen the whole series, and my wife hadn't, and it was a little bit too slow and time consuming, so we bailed on that. But like I've gone back and watched. I mean, I think I've given you this rec that I don't think you've taken yet. Veep is one of my all-time favorite comedy shows, and it ended years ago. But when this election cycle popped up and there was all this circus going on with campaigns and everything, I fired that show up again. Still held up, going all the way back to the first season. I'd forgotten most of the jokes. Very funny all over again. I've watched Curb Your Enthusiasm twice through.
Have you?
Yeah.
All seasons?
I think I have, yeah.
Wow.
Well, I don't know that I've done the most recent ones the second time, but leading up to whenever, I don't know, a recent new season release, like whenever they came out with season 8 or season 9, I went all the way back to 1 and made it up to the point that they were releasing from. So,
I think that it's either Dumb and Dumber or Anchorman that I've seen the most.
Really?
Yeah.
Big Anchorman guy, huh?
Oh, dude, I
didn't see that coming.
Great. Yeah, it's great. But again, the most, maybe 6 times, 7 times, I don't know.
Okay. Was there a movie as a kid, like you and your brother used to put on the VHS or something like that? Did you guys have like a sports movie at home or something that was really popular when you were growing up that you might have watched a bunch?
We certainly did have the VHS, the VCR.
Because I mean, I remember like the Disney sports movie Rookie of the Year, where the kids suddenly like pumping 100-mile-an-hour fastballs. You know that one? Like the whole.
Oh yeah.
The doctor gets whacked in the nose and yells "funky butt lovin'," and everyone thought that was the funniest thing ever.
Yeah. I gotta say,
watched that a bunch when I was like 7.
Maybe the reason I'm not that into movies is we didn't really watch them at home,
at
my house. But I did when I would go over to my friend's house, and because they had the parents that were kind of absentee, you know, so you'd be down in the basement, you'd try to
do your own thing,
see boobs on HBO, and you would. And for us, it was a lot of horror movies because we weren't supposed to watch those. So like the Friday the 13th and the Nightmare on Elm Street and that crap. So, and porn.
The old school kind.
Romancing the Bone. Things like that.
Sure.
All right. Well, the latest fashion trend is plumber crack. That's next. Here's Buck.
Now, from the Fan Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on 1080 The Fan.
Ryan Buckley with this SportsCenter update. First on the Fan, the Blazers looking for their 3rd straight win on this 7-game road trip. They currently have an 11-point lead over the Brooklyn Nets in Brooklyn, just starting the 4th quarter. Shaden Sharp leading the way with 22 points. This is coming off his career-high 36 against Washington. You also have 15 points from Tumani Kamara, 14 from Ant Simons, and 11 from Chris Murray. T-Wolves superstar Anthony Edwards has been suspended 1 game by the league for earning his 16th technical foul of the season in Thursday night's loss to the Lakers. He'll miss tonight's game against the Jazz in Salt Lake. In Philadelphia, the Sixers shutting down Joel Embiid for the rest of the season due to his knee injury. In the NFL, the Rams and Matthew Stafford have restructured his deal. He'll be back in L.A. next season, and reports out of New York indicate the Giants may be potential suitors for former Packers and Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Ryan Buckley from 1080 The Fan Sports Desk. Listen live or on demand on the Odyssey app, the Fan's desktop player, or tell your smart speaker to play 1080 The Fan.
The home of Primetime with Isaac and Sue. Weekdays 3 to 7, 1080 The
nobody's ever going to wear
Yeah,
it.
it's like a fashion thing for the people that are on the catwalks, but you'll never see a regular human ever wearing them in real life.
What is that about?
I don't know.
Why is that a...
I don't know, man.
It makes no sense.
That's one of those things that, like, you never see anybody at the Diesel show just walking down with a pair of jeans and a black T-shirt, you know? Like, but that's what the common man's going to wear that he buys from Diesel.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It's weird.
It's like...
Not our world.
It's the art that inspired the regular clothing, but no one's going to buy this clothes. I don't know, man.
Models also donned striking all white or black contact lenses, Some with spray-painted smiles.
Like the Joker?
Yeah. As they paraded against the backdrop of graffitied tapestries.
Spray-painted smiles creeps me out maybe more than the butt cracks. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
Spray-painted smile seems weird.
Is plumber butt the new side boob?
I don't know, I guess.
You think that's hot? See some gal walking, because it's male and female.
So I remember when I was in middle school or high school, and the fashion trend for like women my age was like those low-rise jeans and pants, and like I even remember there was a sitcom with John Ritter called 8 Simple Rules for Dating My Teenage Daughter, and that gal, the whole marketing campaign about that show, the bit that they ran over and over again was him talking about that slingshot coming out of your pants, and it was like her thong underwear. There was a time where I feel like late 90s, early 2000s, it was maybe not popular, but common for girls to kind of flash the top of the thong from back there.
Yeah, I
but
remember
not
that.
the butt crack thing. That's
not
new.
the crack. They'd have that covered with the slingshot there.
So then this also begs the question, are there things covering the nether regions below the surface level, or are people going commando under there?
Oh.
Like, are you sliding down your skivvies, or are you just nothing going on under there?
I would imagine nothing's going on under there.
I would think probably not, but
because they're saying like one of the big fashion trends now is various states of undress. You know, Kanye's who's the Kanye's gal? She's naked. She basically just walks around naked.
Not anymore.
What? What do you mean?
Oh, they're done. They're divorcing, and she's.
Oh, they were married.
It seemed like him bringing her to whatever. What show did he bring her to recently? It was the
I don't know.
Golden Globes or something. I mean, or no. Was it the Grammys? Whatever it was, when she showed up totally naked, that was like the final straw.
She was butt naked.
Yeah.
Wait, he didn't like that?
No, I think she's done being controlled by him, and so she's out.
Who is that gal? I've never
Bianca Sensori.
Is she? What's her deal?
Curves, big, and lots of them.
But is she like a model? Is she? What does she do?
I mean, I can find out. Hold on.
Well, guys, and a lot of you plumbers are probably listening to us right now. Who knew Frank from Toilet Tinker's Plumbing was so hip?
Bianca Sensori is an Australian architect and model.
Oh, come on. Architect?
That's what it says.
Well.
Has a bachelor's and master's degree in architecture from the University of Melbourne.
Wow. She needs to put on some clothes.
Yeah, I feel like it was like a stipulation in their marriage that you don't get to wear any unless I say so. So it was a very...
Wasn't it Suk that was talking about, if you go over to their house and she's putting on a dinner party, is she just walking around naked? Like she?
Yeah, I think I brought that up because I saw,
did.
like, there was another rapper who, like, posted a video from, like, dinner at Kanye's house, and they're kind of going around this big table, and everyone's, like, wearing their nice stuff, and she's just sitting, like, boobs
naked.
out, like, hanging into her, beef Wellington or whatever's going on.
Wow. What a world. I'll stick to my golf hats and my Nike polos.
Try to find more out about Bianca, but there's not a lot out there.
All right. Well,
she was the head of architecture at Yeezy, Kanye's clothing and apparel company.
Oh, that's where he met her?
Yes.
Well, if you haven't seen her, she
got the goods.
Yeah, I guess.
I think everybody saw her at whatever award show that was.
Well, we got the Oscars on Sunday, don't we?
I believe we do.
You watching that? I used to be such a fan of that, and I just don't care anymore.
As we've discussed, I think the movies have gone downhill. The ones that everyone's seen aren't usually the ones that are being talked about anymore. I don't have the time to watch that many movies anymore, so I will watch if I feel like there's something that I really want to see. But now the internet does such a good job showing me what the best parts were the next day or later that night that I don't need to sit through 4 hours of that. I'll watch 8 different clips on Twitter at the end of the night, and I'll know what happened.
I did see a movie on the plane recently coming back from Kansas. I watched A Real Pain. That's the one with
Kieran Culkin, right?
Kieran Culkin and Jesse Eisenberg. Delightful film.
I heard it was really well done.
Yes.
I didn't hear people like. I haven't heard a lot about it, but I heard that it was good.
It is good. It's worth watching. And Culkin is great in it. Actually, they both are. I think Eisenberg is great, but because it's his movie. But Culkin, and he won the. Did he win the? He won the award.
He won the. They just had the SAG award, the Screen Actors Guild, and he won for that movie last weekend for that. So he may win this weekend too.
It's a good movie, man. It's pretty good. They're I won't give it away. It's called A Real Pain.
What's the general premise though?
Well, they go over to
it's like Poland or something.
Yeah, they're Jewish, and they go to see the history of where their grandmother was, and it's pretty simple, but also
when done right, simple can be outstanding.
And it is. It's good. Good little movie. Good little film.
Was it a Best Picture nominee too?
That I don't know. I don't even know.
I know it's been talked about a fair amount. That was one of the ones that I've seen that has earned Oscar nom and Oscar buzz that I actually want to watch. There's a bunch that I'm like, I'm not going to watch that, but that's one of the ones that's kind of on my list because I like both of them quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's really, this movie is about. It's so relatable because it's about traveling with somebody who is just not like you in any way. Like, they're complete opposites. And it's funny. They're cousins. And it's like, have you ever had to travel with somebody that you don't, it's not like your wife, it's somebody that you have never traveled with, or you just don't, they're just two totally polar opposite people.
Yeah, you're just kind of stuck with the way that they are, and that's not necessarily good or bad, it's just different.
It's just, it's like, what? It's relatable in that realm of it too. And they go on this tour, a Jewish heritage tour is what it is.
It is not a Best Picture nom, but I believe that their performances were nominated, or at least Kieran Culkin's was.
Well, they've gotten several accolades for it.
Yeah.
I know Eisenberg has been making the rounds and getting a lot of credit. All right, we wrap it up next on The Fan.
The home of Dirt and Spray.
I'm Dirt. It's a weird time in Seattle where I think
Fair. I get it. But it's just, come on. Now, sometimes there's a car blocking you from moving over. You can't. And
Of
so
course.
you just have to.
Yeah.
And I don't think you should have to slow down to let somebody in. I think it is the onus is on me to speed up to the speed of traffic, the flow of traffic, and get in that way.
And I haven't seen this. Well, maybe I have seen. I don't frequent this specific problem spot for you as much, but for me, in this situation, the thing that chaps me usually more than anything else is the person who's getting on the freeway insisting on beating my car out in front of it and then not going the speed of everybody else.
Yes.
That drives me nuts.
What is that?
Like,
Why do
either
people do
wait
that?
to be slow, but don't rush to be slow in front of me, you idiot.
Yeah, I'm always amazed at the people that get mad when you pass them.
Yeah.
Like, why are
you?
Yeah,
sorry.
sorry.
You didn't want to go that fast, and you don't have to, but here I go.
Yeah, and then they speed up, or, they don't want to let you. I don't know. It's just, people are weird. The world needs a head up their ass meter. There should be a reading that pops up on your phone. How far up your ass is your head when you're near other people? Like the other day in the airport, it's like when people aren't paying attention when they walk. That's really annoying.
Oh, my God.
I mean, just a modicum of attention paid would help you immensely.
Yeah.
But this woman was. It drives me.
Or they're pushing their little cart and then they stop in the middle of
Right
the
in
main
the middle.
thoroughfare, and you're like, I've got 2 kids and 6 bags. Like, get out of the way.
Yeah, it's the right in the middle thing. It's like people will stop in the middle of the walk areas in
and it's
airports.
that they have no awareness of what they've done. It's not like my phone's ringing. I better get it. It doesn't matter where I am. They have no clue where they are.
Wake up. Move over to the side. I bumped a dude the other day, and I did it on purpose. Very passive-aggressive of me. Because he was walking very slowly, talking on his phone, right in the middle of where everyone was walking to their flights. Dude, if you're going to walk that slow, move over. So I bumped his ass. I'm going to kick your ass, you little bitch. He said, and I heard him. I didn't, I just kept walking, but he's
this guy just...
Excuse me. No.
I thought he was going to tell the person on the other end of the phone what an ass you are.
Well, he might have. And that's fine. But, no, excuse you son of a bitch. Move. Just pay a little bit of attention. Oh, I got to get something out of my bag. Let's do it right at the most inconvenient place for everyone else in the airport. See, now I'm all fired up. My blood pressure's... Now I got my blood pressure. But wouldn't that be cool if you have your on your phone a head up your ass meter?
Yeah.
And it just anybody around you, it will pop up and show their reading.
Do you remember there was that? You've watched a lot of those Black Mirror episodes.
Oh yeah.
There was the one that was a little bit cheesy, but basically your personal rating floated over your head, like your societal ranking, and it was kind of like your Uber rating or whatever, but it applied to everything. So if you had some faux pas or did something stupid, anybody around you could ding you, and suddenly the people who instead of having 5 stars had 2.5 in life were just screwed.
Yeah. I don't remember that specific episode, but I think that's a thing in China, isn't it?
Is it?
No, seriously.
Maybe.
Some places. All right, well, we got to get out of here.
China.
Beautiful weather. I think we get one more day of nice weather before the rains are coming. What are we doing this weekend? We going to the golf show? Seafood and Wine Festival?
I don't think so. I think we're gonna go. We're gonna go out to Newburgh. Gonna drop the kids off with the grandparents and
nice.
Yeah, just have some time to ourselves. I think, and then we're gonna go to our friends for a pizza night, family pizza night.
Where's the pizza from?
They're making it.
Oh,
homemade pizza night. Everyone make their own little pizzas. They got a little pizza oven.
We have a little pizza oven.
I got my wife one for Christmas.
Those are great.
Yeah.
We have an uni. Did you get an uni?
I think I got Cuisinart.
Oh. I'll tell you what, those unis, it's like a, like pellet fire.
Yeah.
Those things, dude, that pizza cooks so effing fast.
Does it stay inside or is it an outdoor oven?
It's outdoor.
Okay, so I got one that's electric that you can put on the countertop. So I don't think it does heats quite as high as like the uni outdoor ones that use the pellet, but gets up to 700 degrees. Pretty great.
Pretty great. Well, whatever you do this weekend, have a great time doing it.
Yeah.
And pull your head out of your ass.
Idiot drivers.
Idiot people. We will see you Monday. Suk will be back 3 to 7 on the Fan. Good night.